Gina. Bill.
Katie!
And Brian in Centerville. Not that Brian, a different Brian.
Centerville.
In Centerville.
Brian Wilson, leader and chief songwriter of the Beach Boys, has died at the age of 82. That particular song, that song is, it's considered maybe, well, a lot of music critics say it's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Paul McCartney says it's the greatest song ever written.
It's just amazing, and it's a complicated song. The musicality of it, people have compared it to the song's advanced harmonic structure to the work of classical composers such as Bach and Stravinsky.
I guess maybe I just don't appreciate that part of it.
Really? Why?
No, I mean it's a pretty song. I don't understand why it's complicated. What about it?
You don't hear all the complexity in there?
I mean,
the different shifts in tone.
I guess so. Yeah.
The 20 musicians who variously studio musicians in the recording session who played variously drums, sleigh bells, plastic orange juice cups, clarinets, flutes, strings, French horn, accordion, guitars, upright bass, harpsichord, and tack piano with its strings taped. You think that's a little complicated?
Okay, I guess I need to listen to it again.
Let's play it again, Katie. Let's just start it up again.
It's hard.
You can't do it? Don't worry then. Don't worry about it. He's what?
My first mic is not working.
Oh, well, you got a second one.
Luckily.
Brian Wilson's family announced his death on Instagram, but didn't say where or when he died or state a cause. In early 2024, after the death of his wife, Melinda Wilson, business representatives for Brian Wilson were granted a conservatorship by a California state judge.
He had
dementia.
But didn't he have mental problems his whole life?
He had a lot of problems. Because his father was an ass, as most fathers are these days.
Okay, which song did you want, Bill?
Oh, the next one will go as In My Room, but wait for a second.
Okay.
I was wanting to go back to God Only Knows because Gina apparently can't understand the complexity of it. It's next time try listening to it, okay?
I wasn't focused. I should have been focused.
Now, I just wanted to play this song too, and this is usually when you list the top 10 Beach Boys songs, Brian Wilson songs, God Only Knows is right up there at the top. This is usually like number 10. It really encapsulates his life. He wrote it as a young man, but this is about his entire life. It's a simple little song called In My Room. It's only 2 minutes and 11 seconds long, I think. So let's listen to that.
2 minutes and 8 seconds, actually.
8 seconds, yeah.
There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to. In my room. In my room. In my room. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears. In my room. In my room.
I want to go to my room.
I know.
Isn't this sad? Crying and sighing.
Oh, so awful.
Like in his 20s when he wrote this.
Poor guy.
Won't be afraid.
In my room.
You don't come by those harmonies on accidentally either. Those are all carefully written and and scored, and he's a genius. I mean, purely a genius. 82 years old, Brian Wilson.
This is a sad one for you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. God Only Knows is a song my wife and I have always considered our song. If there
Oh,
is such a
really?
thing. Yeah. And I said, I don't know what Beach Boys song we'll play tomorrow. And she said, really? You don't? Well, I mean,
You're not clear? What?
we-
But not just because of that. Everything I was reading yesterday, that one is the one that kept coming up by multiple people
Really?
saying.
in my room? Or
No,
God
Only Knows.
Yeah, God Only Knows is considered just one of the greatest. And, and Good Vibrations and all of those songs. And we'll talk about Fun, Fun, Fun coming up. Is Caroline No in there? We don't have time for it.
I don't think it is.
That's always been one of my favorites. But we'll
What
talk
about Salt Lake City?
in Salt Lake City, it's kind of related to the song "Fun, Fun, Fun," because Salt Lake City, the original release of that, they mention a radio station by name in that song. Now, then they re-released it, and it just said the radio station will be playing our hits. But then, but in the original, they said the radio station KNAK.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah.
Kanak?
Yeah, KNAK. And Fun, Fun, Fun is about a girl whose father owned that radio station.
Really?
Yeah. Fun, 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 tell
So
her daddy
daddy
took the T-Bird away. Her daddy who owned KNAK.
I need to know more about her.
Well, we'll talk about it coming up.
Is it Barbara Ann? It's Barbara Ann, right? Isn't it No.
No, it's not Barbara Ann.
It's a good guess.
I think her name is Shirley. It's Shirley.
Shirley?
Yeah, Shirley England.
They
is
were
her name.
excited about a Shirley?
Well, she had a white T-Bird, and she was hot, and she still
Were there
lives
hot
in-
Shirleys?
Surely
she-
you can be excited about Shirley's.
and she still lives here in Salt Lake City.
Shirley does?
Yes, there is a hot Shirley. She's my old hairdresser.
She's hot?
Yeah,
And
she's very
my,
pretty.
my sister had a hot friend named Shirley who, when her parrot died, she put it in the freezer.
What?
Shirley.
Hot Shirley with the parrot in the freezer.
Well, that's a
Hey,
good.
Shirley, is that parrot still in the freezer? Yes.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
All right, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back with your tributes to Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. Please, we'd love to hear from you in the morning. Maybe you don't believe me when I say that, but it's true.
I believe you.
We love to hear from you in the morning. 877-602-9696. Or you can text us if you like, but only if you like to do that. 33986.
All right. 33986.
618.
All right. We're back. We'll go to your check-ins at 877-602-9696 or your text check-ins at 33986. But let's officially get the show underway, shall we?
Jerry Seiner Cadillac celebrates their new location with an incredible buying experience for your dream car. Come in today and experience the Seiner difference.
I seen the moon this morning.
You seen it?
I've seen it. It was 98.4% of full, a waning gibbous moon. It was hanging low in the sky, and it was really beautiful because the sky, and I've noticed the sky the last couple of mornings, has been purple. It's that kind of morning purple.
Were there people running
just beautiful.
everywhere?
No.
It's a Prince thing.
And also you could have done a reference to Hank Williams. I'm so lonesome I could cry. The lonesome falling star that lights up a purple sky. So the moon will set today at 6:37. Today being Thursday, rather. It's the 12th day of June in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2025. It's thanks. It's Superman Day. DC Comics. You know what DC stands for in DC Comics?
I do not.
Detective Comics.
I did not know that.
Started out as they were doing detective stories. International Falafel Day. I falafel today.
Oh, come on.
It's National. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Try the salmon. It's National Jerky Day. National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. I love those lunch, grade school lunchroom peanut
With
butter
the fork?
cookies. Yeah,
Yeah.
The fork prints on them. And it's the U.S. Open Golf Championship getting underway all this week and into the weekend and so forth. And this is an all-new edition of the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Carrie Jackson, who is away. I'm Bill Allred, who is partially away. Gina Barberi, right over there.
I'm all in.
She's all in. Katie, for short, is our fine producer who's running the board as well. Let's see, who do we have helping out in there? There's Maya, there's Ari, and Winslow.
Yeah.
Tanner's in there, too.
I didn't notice him.
Yeah.
And the dog, Vax, is. Oh, he's in here, isn't he?
No, Vax is in
Is he
there.
back in the
He'll wander between studios.
Yeah. All right. When he gets his energy up. Let's. We're going to go to check-ins now. Is Andrew there still?
Andrew, you here?
Hi, Andrew.
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah. What did you
How's
have?
it going?
Good. What did you have to say?
So just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up. This is more for Gina because it's a traffic update too.
Oh, okay.
So I work for a company called Fastenal. Mm-hmm. We transport construction supplies and things of that nature, and we're moving locations today from. So we're in that little industrial area.
What little
down
industrial
off of,
area?
50, so over by 5600 West.
Okay.
But we're moving locations up into Magna.
Uh-huh.
And so 201 and 80th West are going to see a lot of heavy semi traffic today.
It's that significant.
You got a lot
So-
of stuff to move.
Yes,
All
we
right.
still have a lot of stuff to move, and we're going to have 8 to 9 semis that are going to be just back and forth all day long.
Oh,
All right.
This
Well,
is an Infiniteam live report.
Yeah, it
All
is.
right. Good luck, Andrew. Thanks for letting us know.
So, yep, not a problem.
All right. See you later.
Have a good day.
So we're talking about the Beach Boys in the opening because Brian Wilson died, and those two songs were really sad. God Only Knows is kind of a mournful,
Yeah.
But it's on the other side of the single. There was this song.
The flip side?
Yeah, the flip side of the single. There was this song by the Beach Boys.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Then we wouldn't have to wait so long. And wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? No one's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay together. Wouldn't it be nice if we
Isn't that great?
It reminds me. It reminds me of when I dated my husband twice before we got married.
Twice. Got it.
But when you used to have to go home to different places, he'd have to drop me off and go home. And even now, like when we're out on a date and we're driving home, I'm like, we get to go home to the same place.
It's this song.
You
I like
know,
this song
it's-
too. It's because it's teenagers.
Yeah.
And they don't really realize what they're getting into. A life of marriage and drudgery.
No, but wouldn't it be nice to just?
It's just
we
so
just
innocent.
go home together.
It's
Our
so-
home is
yeah.
the same
It's
place.
that song is so innocent until they say, "Well, who's going to pay the bills?"
I'm still innocent.
And then let's do a little bit of Salt Lake City, too, the Beach Boys. They came here to Lagoon, I don't know, 10 times, or I've got it written down somewhere.
Down in Utah, the guys and I dig a city called Salt Lake.
I forgot this song existed. I'm not going to lie.
That's why we never get
It's got the grooviest kids.
And the way the kids talk so cool is an out-of-sight thing.
That never happened.
We talk cool here.
And the #1 radio station makes the town really swing.
And in the original, they said N-K and A-K. Coming soon. Oh, there you go, the Beach
Oh, that's
Boys.
nice.
Outside
let's-
check-ins?
Lance of Vineyard checking in. Not a huge fan of the Beach Boys, although sadly relatable. Gave me the chills. Good call, Bill. Troy of Riverton checking in. Meshach of Erda. Radio from Hell is my 409.
Okay.
Giddy up,
Giddy
I
up,
guess.
giddy up. That's Jan and Dean, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, 409 was up here.
Is that the Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Emmett the Pool Guy checking in. Ron the Carpenter's on board. Good morning, Lords. Rye from Orem checking in. Mike in Nashville, of course, is there. So glad Brian was able to finally finish Smile back in 2004. Every time I listen to it, I notice something new.
That's a great record. Our good friend Bad Brad Wheeler texted me, said, I hope you guys play Salt Lake City by the Beach Boys. I can't believe how many people have not heard that song. It blows
yeah.
my mind.
Tristan from the most west of Jordan's checking in. My dad always said when he was younger he could go see the Beach Boys for free at Lagoon. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. They played there a lot. Nate from Daybreak checking in. Johnny B checking in, listening while caramelizing some garlic and jalapenos for this morning's scrambled eggs. Weber State Professor Jake checking in. Sketchy Blake of Ogden. Oh, Sketchy Blake, we're going to read your email coming up. Be listening for that. Summer Canceled, Love and Mercy, Brian Wilson. The album Pet Sounds is one of my all-time favorites. Isn't that put up there as one of the great albums just generally?
And I'm trying to remember, I think the order was when the Beach Boys did Pet Sounds and Beatles, and Paul McCartney said, we got to do something.
It was an inspiration.
And they did Sgt. Pepper's. Or it's vice versa. I don't.
Someone inspired someone.
Yeah.
Levi and Coachella Valley checking in. Happy Friday Eve, Lords. The Beach Boys always remind me of my uncle. He lived in Oregon, and we'd always listen to him on the way to the coast in a VW van.
Bill, in honor of your joke, here's mine. I ate a bunch of synonyms yesterday. It gave me thesaurus throat I've ever had.
That's a good joke. I like that.
Thesaurus throat I've ever had.
Moon was gorgeous this morning, Bill. Mikkel of Reno here.
Yes, it was.
Quentin checking in. Big City SLC. Hello, Bill. Passing Mona.
Oh, say hi to the mayor.
Woodworker Willie. Lacey, Alice, and Lily checking in from Spanish Fork. Thanks for always making our morning. Looks like everybody is here.
Ready to go?
I think so.
Well, let's get on it.
Traffic?
And everything's moving along. UDOT's not reporting anything, but Midvale's Rousdower checking in. I-250 north to the 201 west, looking fine, both sides so far. But yeah, if you want to let us know what you're seeing, you can always text us 33986.
All right, coming up after these messages and a song, we're going to have some big boy news and a Pinuendo. And then just after that, it's Frank Christ. They're fine, just fine. And you could win a prize for calling in.
What's the prize?
You could win drive-by truckers and deer tickets.
There you go.
You know, I heard from Frank. He's still not going to be with us today. He says he's clear. He thought he had the measles, but he doesn't have the measles. I said, so you're coming in today? And he said, no, I forgot to plug in my scooter.
Oh,
So it's got a dead
takes
battery.
a long time to charge.
Yeah, it does. All right, all that coming up after these and a song.
It's such a happy, positive song.
It is.
It's nice for a change.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Gina. How are you?
Frank
I'm fine.
Christ.
I'm just fine.
I'm just fine. I'm fine. I'm just fine too, Frank. If you
Oh,
care.
well, she asked specifically.
No. How are you today?
Yes.
How are you, Frank?
I'm fine. I'm just
You're-
fine.
okay.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just fine. Well, I could have used the last song to go to the bathroom, and I didn't.
Uh-oh.
So I'm a little, uncomfortable.
All right.
Other than that, you don't have that problem, do you, Frank?
No, I don't have one of those in my apartment,
No.
the home office.
What?
We don't need those.
You
So
just
that's-
have a recliner and that's it?
It's kind of a bonus, really. If you think about it, you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about eating
Yeah,
or
that's
drinking
true.
or anything.
I do miss drinking.
Yes.
I have to admit.
Frank,
a nice
yes?
cold squirt.
You like to squirt.
I loved to chug a squirt in my day.
I prefer quench myself, but if you're a squirt man, Frank, that's fine.
Cragmont.
Yeah, Cragmont. Knee-high.
Delicious.
Knee-high. Let's have a bottle of knee-high. Frank Christ is here. He's a celebrity reaper. Did you hear our X poll today, Frank?
Yes, I wanted to compliment you guys on the X poll.
Yes.
I thought that was a...
If you have a hunch about how you're going to die. Although those were all civilians.
That's the thing. Because I perused the text when I got here. Mm-hmm. I can do that. I'm a magical being.
Yes.
And somebody said, I expect that Frank will boot me and I will see his face. And I wanted to reply to them, are you a celebrity?
Yeah, I mean,
don't
that's the
think
only
you
way
are.
that's going to
It'll
happen.
be one of my associates.
Frank is the reaper of celebrities only. All kinds of celebrities. Sometimes obscure celebrities, but
Yes.
celebrities nonetheless.
Oh.
Famous in the circles that they go in. And I'm sorry, Frank.
Topol. Oh.
Yes, I know. It's he was wonderful as Tevye, wasn't he?
He was.
Thanks. Frank is here to play a game we call Frank Chris Presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
He provides me a list of celebrities, fairly well-known people, and on this list, 3 of the people here are,
Oh, they're fine. They're just fine.
and one of them Frank has met and taken away to wherever celebrities go.
Oh.
And again, we stress, Frank does not kill these people.
No.
It's just his job to clean them up, essentially.
I gather them.
Yes, so that their souls aren't littering. Hollywood
you don't-
would be full of souls if.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, you've been to one of those parties. You know you don't want that.
So at any rate, here we go. We'll play the game. We have a contestant, I believe. Who do we have?
Bryce.
Hi, Bryce.
Bryce, how are you?
Hey, Bill. I'm fine. I'm just fine.
Oh, you sound fine, Bryce.
Say hello to Frank, Bryce.
Oh, hello, Bryce.
Hey, Frank. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just fine.
That's good. That's good. All right.
Oh, that's great.
You ready to play, Bryce?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Here's a list that Frank has given me. These are all men, and they are comedians or comic actors, kind of, both, or they've done both in their careers. All right? Comedians, comic actors, men. Number 1 on the list,
Perfect.
Eddie Deason, known for his role as, he always played nerd characters in films like Grease, Midnight Madness, War Games. As a stand-up comedian, Deason performed at the Comedy Store and appeared on an episode of The Gong Show, only to be gonged by Paul Williams, of all people.
Oh, Paul Williams.
And just a,
Oh, I'm sorry, Frank.
No, he's still with it. He's fine.
he's fine. He's just fine. Yeah, a little side note about Eddie Deason. Well, I'll give you this after we go through the list. Number 2 on the list is Frank DeCaro, writer, performer, talk radio host, best known for his work on The Daily Show, where he appeared as a contributor. Frank DeCaro was the author of at least one book, Drag, Combing Through the Bigwigs of Show Business, about the history of drag queens. Number 2, Frank DeCaro. Number 3 on the list, Bryce, is Irwin Corey, an American stand-up comic and film actor and activist, often billed as the world's foremost authority. He introduced his unscripted improvisational style of stand-up comedy at the San Francisco club, the Hungry Eye, where Lenny Bruce used to perform a lot. And Lenny Bruce described Corey as one of the most brilliant comedians of all time. He was a communist. He supported socialist leftist policies. He campaigned for president one time on Hugh Hefner's Playboy ticket. And during the Democratic Party presidential primaries, Professor Corey endorsed Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders for the nomination to the presidency. That's number 3, Irwin Corey. And number 4 on the list, David Koechner, Actor and comedian, Koechner first became involved in performing when he began studying improvisational comedy in Chicago at the Improv Olympic under the teachings of the very famous Del Close. Before joining the Second City, Koechner first became involved in performing when he was studying improvisational comedy in Chicago. And let's see.
Drunk driver? Does it say that?
Yes, he had some drunk driving problems, and he was also a one-year cast member on Saturday Night Live, and he was a regular on Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Whammy!
Number 4, David Koechner. So of those 4 comedians and actors, which one is no longer with us?
Oof. Gosh, I'm going to go with number 1.
Number 1, Eddie Deason. No, I'm terribly sorry. Eddie is still alive.
Fine.
Well, he's not so fine. In August of 2022, he was ruled unfit to stand trial as a result of his mental health struggles. He'd been stalking people and doing crazy things. He is currently in the Maryland Department of Health institution where he will
Really?
remain until he no longer poses a
But
threat.
they'll take care of him and he'll
Oh,
be
boy.
fine.
So he's still alive, but he's in an institution. Now, let me give you another chance here. So we know it's not Eddie Deason that's passed. Is it Frank Caro, Irwin Corey, or David Koechner?
Ooh. I'm going to go with my gut and say it's Irwin Corey.
Well done. Well
Nicely
Always
done.
trust your gut.
Nicely done. Irwin Corey died at the age of 102 on February 6, 2017, at his apartment in Manhattan with his son Richard by his side.
Oh.
Irwin Corey. Do yourself a favor, Bryson. Go to YouTube and look up some old Irwin Corey routines. He was quite remarkable. Congratulations, you got it on the second try, and we always give a prize to to contestants who do that. And what did he win?
Lumineers tickets.
Oh, Lumineers, that's right. You'll enjoy that show, Bryce. They're really good. Hang on.
Heck yeah.
You hang on and and we'll tell you how to get the tickets. Somebody will come on the line in a second.
Oh,
Let's see.
6:36, a little Dead or Alive for you. And it is time for some big boy news and opinioendo. And then just after that, we've got Frank Chris, They're Fine, Just Fine. There's 4 celebrities, 3 are dead, 3 are fine, just fine. 1 is dead. You have to guess which celebrity is dead.
It's the dead celebrity game.
And
Exactly.
If you would like to participate in that, you can call now during the news, 877-602-9696. The prize will be drive-by truckers and deer tickets.
Perfect. All right.
News.
Brought to you by
Cascade Collision Repairs, Utah's leader for certified repairs. Get a free estimate online at cascadecollision.com or in person, including the newest location in West Valley City.
Well, we've been talking about Brian Wilson, one founding member of the Beach Boys, who died at the age of 82 yesterday. Wilson's masterpiece was the 1966 album Pet Sounds, a wistful song cycle that he directed in elaborate recording sessions, blending the sound of a rock band with classical instrumentation and strange things like the electro-theremin, whose otherworldly whistle Mr. Wilson would use again on Good Vibrations. Pet Sounds was a commercial disappointment upon its release, but the technical sophistication and melodic depth of the tracks, like God Only Knows and I Just Wasn't Made for These Times, eventually led critics and fellow musicians to honor it as an epical achievement. Rolling Stone ranked Pet Sounds number 2 on its list of greatest albums of all time. Paul McCartney has said that God Only Knows is maybe the best song ever written. And I was wondering what order this all came in. Texters reminded me. The Beatles did an album called Revolver, which was kind of an experimental album, but not. There were just some experimental things on it. Brian Wilson heard that and went, I got to do something. He did Pet Sounds. The Beatles heard Pet Sounds and went, we got to do something. And they did Sgt. Pepper's Lonely
They
Hearts Club
inspired
Band.
each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And the music of the Beach Boys is timeless, but in their early years, the band that defined the California surf sound would actually spend a lot of time here in Utah. The group's first performance outside of California was at Lagoon.
Their first performance outside of California.
They also
Wow.
took part in a photo shoot here on the shores of the Great Salt Lake, and they wrote a song about Salt Lake City, which we played part of. But Shirley England may have Utah's most unique connection to the Beach Boys. After all, she's the girl who had fun until her daddy took the T-Bird away. Play a little of that, will you, Katie? Kind of a Chuck Berry sound.
I imagine the classic video where all the girls are on the fake surfboard that are connected to the wave.
Yep.
Well, she got her daddy's car and she cruised through the hamburger stand now.
This makes me want to do the mashed potato.
About the library like she told her old man now.
Oh, is that her?
That's her.
X96.com/live.
Yeah.
Cruising just as fast as she can now. And she'll have fun till her daddy takes the T-Bird away.
Shirley England's father owned a rock and roll station. It was called KNAK, K-N-A-K, very popular in the 50s and 60s. Brian Wilson, they met Shirley. She was always driving her daddy's T-Bird to Lagoon to see them. And then one time her daddy took the T-Bird away.
Man.
The radio station's general manager is a radio name I remember, Bill Hesterman. He was taking the Beach Boys to the Salt Lake City airport to get a plane back to California, and they wrote the song Fun in the back of the car on the trip.
Wow.
So there you go.
Somebody says, I had a great uncle who kicked the Beach Boys out of his convenience store when they tried to buy beer underage.
All right, now we move on to other things. An Air India passenger plane bound for London with more than 240 people on board has crashed in India's northwestern city of Ahmedabad. The airline said visuals on local television channels showed smoke billowing from the crash site in what appeared to be a populated area near the airport. The city is big. It's 5 million people. Firefighters doused the smoking wreckage of the plane, which would have been fully loaded with fuel shortly after takeoff. There's probably going to be casualties on the ground in the buildings that were hit. There are scenes of charred bodies on the ground.
Oh, jeez.
They're saying that there were 242 passengers and crew. They're not saying there were any survivors of the crash, and nobody knows exactly at this point what happened. When Republican Governor Spencer Cox signed a ban on gender-affirming medical care for transgender youth in 2023, he described the bill as pausing treatments until more and better research can help determine the long-term consequences.
Yep.
That's what Spencer Cox said. Let's pause.
Okay.
And find some better research, some more research, and make sure that the long-term consequences are okay. Well, apparently that's happened.
Yep.
Because he says, we're going to just keep that law in place.
Well, and this is after the study that the legislature commissioned.
That's right.
Yeah.
That said, and they were just sure it was going to find that this was damaging, and what it discovered was, no, actually, the mental health and physical health of people that had had this gender-affirming care, it was positive.
The evidence review commissioned by the legislature under the law concluded that such care resulted in, quote, positive outcomes for transgender youth. The governor told reporters that Utah's ban is probably in the right place now.
You mean being yourself makes you feel better?
Yeah.
There doesn't
strange.
seem to be an appetite to readdress it. I think things have shifted significantly over the past couple of years. What he's saying there is, it doesn't matter what the facts are, what the political climate is, we can't mess with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The governor's office previously ignored inquiries from the Tribune and later other local and national outlets about his reaction to the evidence review that showed it was positive, and a subsequent report from the Utah Department of Health and Human Services. Headed by a Cox appointee, a commission under the agency's purview wrote to lawmakers that it does not take a position on whether to lift the moratorium. The group did, however, offer recommendations on how the state might responsibly move forward if the legislature decided to do so. Well, they won't. They won't. A Salt Lake City Council member is responding to Governor Spencer Cox's comments about new flags that the city has adopted.
They're dumb.
Those flags were designed to get around a new state law banning pride and other political flags from being flown at schools or government buildings. During his monthly news conference, Cox made waves when he commented on both the city's new flag designs and the law that the legislature passed that prompted them. They're dumb flags, and that was a dumb bill, Cox told reporters. I'm sure they feel great that they got around this dumb law, and they did it with dumb flags, and the whole thing is dumb. Alejandro Puy, who serves on the Salt Lake City Council, said the city's new flags are designed to make people feel seen and welcome.
Exactly.
But Puy said he agreed with other parts of what the governor said. Yeah, that bill was dumb. House Bill 77 was a dumb bill, Puy said. It should never have been a reality. We shouldn't be talking about this right now, and the governor had the power to solve this with his veto, and I wish he would have done so.
Well,
if he thought it was a dumb bill, he should have taken action that is on his power to do so. So you know what? I think what the governor, his lack of action is dumb.
To be fair.
To whom?
It was a veto-proof vote. Even if Cox had vetoed it, they had enough votes to override it.
He
didn't sign it.
So what?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He let it be his position be known. He let his position be known by not being a man and standing up against it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
A daycare owner is facing criminal charges accusing her of trying to obstruct a police investigation involving an employee who allegedly pushed a toddler's face into a sandbox.
Oh, jeez.
And now I've done some checking, and I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that none of these people are either drag queens or trans people. Okay? I'm pretty sure.
I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah.
Danae Alexandra Vanderberg was charged last week in 4th District Court with counts of witness tampering. The sheriff's deputies were called to investigate a possible child abuse case involving a 14-month-old boy at a daycare in Eagle Mountain. The victim's parents reported that the daycare owner, Danae Alexandra Vanderberg, had told them one of her employees had thrown a bit of sand into the victim's face. But the parents say a second employee later told them that the employee who committed the abuse had picked up the victim and forcefully shoved his face into the sand for several seconds. The second employee told investigators that the boy had been sitting in a sandbox crying when another employee had picked him up and forcefully shoved his face down into the sand. When questioned, Vandenberg told deputies the boy's mother had watched a live stream video of the incident but did not want to be involved as a witness. Well, she's being charged with obstruction of justice. Protesters against his immigration policies ballooning nationwide. Donald Trump is seeing one of his favorite musicals on Wednesday night. Les Mis, Les Miserables, the story of an anti-government uprising, abusive police, and harsh imprisonment. Trump is going to the opening night, or went to the opening night of the famous musical's one-month run at the John F. Kennedy Center.
He got booed.
Whose entire board of trustees, by the way, he replaced them in February and had them name him chairman. We've seen it many times, Trump said upon arriving at the Kennedy Center with his wife, Melania. Love it, one of my favorites. When a reporter asked him which side of the musical's conflict he most identified with, Trump laughed and refused to answer. Well, it's tough. You better answer that one, honey, he said.
It's because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Another reporter asked how he felt about reports that some of the Les Mis cast would be boycotting the night of his performance. Trump said, I couldn't care less. All I do is run the country well. Trump received a mixture of cheers and boos when he took his seat in the theater. His attendance comes after he deployed National Guard troops, of course, to face largely peaceful protesters in Los Angeles, peaceful before the troops showed up, and announced that he was sending in Marines despite pushback from local leaders. Les Mis, of course, is based on the novel of the same name, Les Miserables. It tells the story of a French peasant, Jean Valjean, after he emerges from a 19-year prison sentence for stealing a loaf of bread to feed his hungry niece.
Yeah.
Much of the musical centers around student demonstrations against the French monarchy.
He has no idea. It's pretty colors and songs.
Yeah.
He has no idea the story.
I think he's probably. I think he's not lying. He's seen it several times.
Oh yeah.
But he just lets it wash over him.
Or he falls asleep.
Bulldozers have been ripping up the grass and digging the foundation for a new flagpole in the White House Rose Garden lawn, making good on Trump's plan to install a Mar-a-Lago-style patio in place of the Rose Garden. Employees with the National Park Service, which maintains the White House grounds, began work on Monday on the project. They expect to finish sometime during the first half of August, the Associated Press said. And there was a split where they cut down this tree that had been planted in the honor of Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Oh, where is that?
They said
last month, a large magnolia tree that had been planted outside the Oval Office to commemorate John F. Kennedy Jr. Was cut down and replaced with a smaller tree. What I don't know, I meant to look it up and I didn't have time. What's the history of the Rose Garden?
Jackie O.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jacqueline
Yep.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
Jackie O put the Rose Garden in, and when Melania was there last time, they ripped out all of most of the roses from that, and she planted some really bland, boring roses. And the other thing I like about this is their defense of why they're putting in a patio. Well, when we have events out there, women in high heels don't like walking in the wet grass. It's hard for them to walk
trip.
in.
You know what's cool is they make these things that go on high heels so they don't go into the grass. Just go
And quickly, a man tried to film a cute bunny video, and I saw this. So he's filming this, and it's a wild rabbit, it's a brown rabbit, and the bunny starts to run, and then the guy realizes that there's a fox chasing it.
Oh,
No.
And the fox gets the bunny.
no.
He's trying. Oh, look, a cute bunny. Oh, my
Was
God.
the bunny like, help?
Yes.
Sad.
Help. Help.
Poor little thing.
All right. Sports weather traffic.
Just before sports weather traffic, we don't have any calls for Frank Christ yet.
Oh, okay. So the prize is catch drive-by truckers and deer tick June 17th at Red Butte with Thelma and the Sleaze. It's part of Red Butte's outdoor concert series. Tickets are on sale now. You can find a link at x96.com. Or heck,
Call.
I can guarantee you will win some if you play Frank Christ Presents. They're fine. They're just fine.
Call right now, 877-602-9696 to play and win these tickets. Now, sports weather traffic.
Jamarian Bird Ficklin shined for
What?
you.
Yeah.
Jamarian.
Okay.
Doit Doit Bird is his nickname. Ficklin.
Oh, okay.
Shined for the Utah Spring Camp. I'm wearing my Ute hat.
Or did
today.
he shone?
He shined. I'm just reading what Jason Bodico wrote in the Tribune. The freshman quarterback and former 3-star recruit even caught the eye of Kyle Whittingham. Some guys are stepping up. I'm really impressed with Bird, the quarterback, true freshman. He's doing some great things. Formerly Texas State commit, Ficklin fits the mold. As a dual threat, this is also a threat to poor Isaac Wilson, who has been the number 2. Maybe this
Was
kid
he the
is
number 2 behind, what's his name?
behind Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been number 2.
But then he had to step up and be number 1 when Cam was hurt, and now Isaac might get pushed back again. Excuse me. We'll have to see. NBA Finals. Indiana leads 2-1. They beat Oklahoma City 116-107. I heard a report this morning that the ratings for this series very down.
Not good.
Not good. Nobody cares about the Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. People will not be caring tomorrow at 6:30 when their next game is. Stanley Cup Finals. Florida leads the series 2-1. They play today at 6 o'clock. That is your sports weather. We're just hot and getting hotter,
Yeah.
I'm afraid. 64 right now, 95 for a high today, overnight low 64. We're going to be really warm all the way through the weekend. I'm looking ahead to Monday. We're in the mid to upper 90s every day, and I don't see. Yesterday it was a little cloudy, kind
Yeah,
of
it
looked
was
like
nice.
it might storm.
There was a splatter of rain at one
Did you
point.
have a splatter?
Just enough to make the windshield dirty.
Probably not going to have any of that actually for the next few days. So
Lovely.
it is hot. Traffic we have nothing. Everything looks great. Everything's moving well. Let me see if there's any accidents being reported right now. I do not see anything, but if you do see something, Infiniteam, that's you. You can share it with us. Text it to us, 33986. Business owners, do you owe $15,000 or more on employment taxes and don't know what to do? McClure and Stewart, your local trusted tax attorneys. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Well, there's the music, but
No Frank?
Frank is not here. I got a word from Frank Christ, the Grim Reaper of celebrity souls.
How'd you get the word?
He's installed, without asking me, he installed a pneumatic tube into my house.
So he can message you?
He messages me. He sent me a message early this morning. It had the list of celebrities, and it said, "I'm sorry I'm not going to be in the studio this morning. I forgot to charge up my scooter."
Well, there were more power outages last night. Did you have power
No, I
out again?
didn't.
There were more. Maybe he was nearby in one of
Unless
those.
I was asleep when it happened.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just know his scooter's not charged.
Okay.
I don't know. So do we have a contestant?
We do. We have Amy.
Amy, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm fine. Just fine.
That's good to know, Amy. Now, Amy, when you play our macabre little game here, our dead celebrity game, you will possibly win. Well, you will win. You will win tickets to see Drive-By Truckers and Deer Tick.
Yep, June 17th at Red Butte with Thelma and the Sleaze, part of Red Butte's outdoor concert series.
So, as we said, Frank Christ is a reaper of celebrity souls, and he loves the precious celebrities. He hates to do it, but he does it. He's given me a list of 4 actors. 3 of the actors on this list are fine. They're just fine, but 1 Frank has taken. You select the dead celebrity, Amy, and you will win. Now, because it's the U.S. Open Golf Championship, these are actors in movies about golf. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Number 1, Katherine Harold, best known for her leading roles in films The Hunter, Modern Romance, The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, Yes, Giorgio, and Raw Deal. She had leading roles in the horror films Nightwing and The Sender. She was in Dead Solid Perfect, a film following the life of a pro golfer. Number 1, Katherine Harold. Number 2, Garrett Morris. He was part of the original cast and was the first black cast member of the sketch comedy program Saturday Night Live. He had regular roles on Different Strokes, The Jeffersons, Hill Street Blues, 227, and Rock. He was also a regular cast member on The Jamie Foxx Show. Garrett Morris was in a golf movie called Who's Your Caddy? Number 2, Garrett Morris. Number 3, Michael Clark Duncan, best known for his role as John Coffey in The Green Mile, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award. And he also played Kingpin in Daredevil and Spider-Man, Spider-Man the New Animated Series. He was also in Sin City, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, his golf movie, From the Rough. Number 3, Michael Clark Duncan. And finally, Len Cariou. He won a Tony Award as Sweeney Todd in the original cast of Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, alongside Angela Lansbury. He's also known for his film roles in A Little Night Music, The Four Seasons, About Schmidt, and Spotlight. His golf movie, The Greatest Game Ever Played. Number 4 is Len Cariou. One of those actors is dead, Amy. Which one?
I think I'm going to go with Garrett Morris, number 2.
No, he's fine.
Sorry. Well, I don't know how fine he is, but he's still with us. He's 88. But we believe in second chances here. So listen carefully, and if you can get it on the second try, you'll win the tickets. Number 1, Katherine Harold. Is it number 4, Len Cariou? Or is it Michael Clark Duncan?
You know what? I think it's Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, it is Michael Clark.
Gone too soon.
I cried when he died. I loved him.
Yeah, he seemed like a really sweet guy. He died in 2012. He was only 54 years old.
What did he
Heart disease.
Yeah, he was a
big guy.
big man.
Yeah. Congratulations, Amy. You got it on the second try, so you're going to go see Drive-By Truckers and Deer Tick.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hang on the line. We'll
Hang
get
on.
some information from you. I think Frank might be, if he gets his scooter charged, checking on Marv Albert today.
Marv Albert.
Sportscaster. He's
Yeah.
84.
You remember when Marv Albert bit a flight attendant on a plane?
Yes. Yes. And Bun E. Carlos from Cheap Trick, 74 today. So probably checking on both of those today.
Well, maybe we'll hear from him tomorrow about it.
Maybe. Traffic. I don't have any crashes to tell you about, but I will tell you about this. A major roadway in Saratoga Springs is about to be shut down for weeks, leaving residents confused about how they're going to navigate getting in and out of their neighborhood. The closure, which will happen Monday morning, is along Mountain View Corridor from Pioneer Crossing to the South Connection at the Pony Express Parkway. City said it has no other choice but to shut down the road. The plan is to turn the more than mile-and-a-half stretch into a 5-lane roadway with 2 lanes and a middle turn lane, which will be helpful, but in the meantime, it's going to be really difficult for folks that live out there. They actually have to move some power lines from the east side of the road to the west side of the road. I guess that storm drain system was put in before anybody lived out there, so it's not effective for what they need it for now. After 2 weeks of construction, the city plans to open up the 12th North to local traffic so they can access their neighborhood more easily. That's traffic.
All right, coming up after a couple messages, we've got an email of interest.
Yes.
That you're definitely going to want to stick around for. But first, Salt Lake Acting Company.
They're presenting their summer show right now, The Secret Lives of the Real Wives in the Salt Lake Hive. The play is, the annual musical satire written about our particular life here in Utah, our peculiar life here in Utah. I acted in one of their plays, summer plays, a long time ago, and great fun, really talented people. And we'll put up a video of that maybe.
Yes, I have it. It's
very
great.
funny.
Now, this year's musical parody has riffs on musical theater and popular music. This year you'll hear Alpha Male in the style of Macho Man, Tithing in the style of Loathing from Wicked, and Real Ladies of the Hive in the style of Lady Marmalade and more.
Now, if you go to x96.com, at the top, one of the banners says Salt Lake Acting Company Radio from Hell Not Safe for Work podcast. We're doing a special recording there on the 29th of June.
Which is a Sunday.
And there is a ticket link there where you can buy tickets.
Yeah, so join us for that. But if you want to just go any other time, you can use the code X96 when you call them or when you check out online, and they'll give you subscriber rates. It's Salt Lake Acting Company, and but go to our website, x96.com, click on that, and join us for our special podcast.
Oh, you can bring your own picnic and drinks.
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
It's a good time.
All right.
August 3rd. Let's see. I'm looking at.
I'm looking at the snow. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
It's just.
I got worried that Boba Fett died, Carrie, because Boba Fett was trending. I don't.
Well, you mean the actor?
No,
That they killed him off?
Oh, I just got worried. Doesn't appear.
Did you click on it?
Yeah.
I'm not clicking on it.
Oh, is
because
this a spoiler?
I'm thinking it's a spoiler that you have already spoiled now.
Mm-hmm.
It just
for The Mandalorian, which I haven't watched yet. I'm planning on watching today.
Gina, did you manage to avoid the Succession spoiler?
No, that was my thing that must go yesterday.
So you did find out what it was. Have you watched the show
No.
yet?
Neither have I, and I know what the spoiler is.
You do know.
But
let me tell you this about it. And I'm not going to say what it is. Knowing what it is does not ruin the show.
I've heard there are things about it, like there's some long shot, some amazing 30-minute long one-take shot or something.
30 minutes?
It's just how the people respond to what happens is what's important and what's interesting. Not what happens, but how everybody responds to it. So
we've got them stacked up. We got that and Yellow Jackets stacking up, and
I hate that you're not able to keep things. There's no way to keep things a secret.
Well, that show, The Beef, is so good.
I finished that.
I haven't finished it yet.
I finished that.
Those people are all just so awful.
Everyone is terrible.
Oh my God! Even when you start thinking even the little girl, think, oh, you little brat.
So my husband is not on social media at all.
Good for him.
So he's able to ignore things. So, and he does this with sports stuff all the time.
Oh.
Like, he wants to watch Premier League soccer with Muhammad, my son, not the prophet. And he's like, oh, I recorded that game. Let's watch it. And every time Muhammad's like, I know what happened. Unless you watch things in real time, there's no way.
Very occasionally, I want to watch a sporting event and not in real time. And if I do, I just do go out of my way to not.
It's hard
find
though.
out. Yeah, but you can do it.
Basically, there's too many shows.
Yeah.
We do have an email of interest.
So you're telling me this is an email of interest?
Yeah, it is. And I want to thank Sketchy Blake of Ogden, who does his best to keep Ogden sketchy. And he's been following this for us. He says, Dear Radio from Hell team, this is your Radio from Hell field report. Sketchy Blake of Ogden, reporting in, your humble servant in the trenches of mid-tier mystery and large frozen apex predators. I come to you today with breaking news. The long-lost baby seal hunting icon of Idaho mall culture, the Karcher Mall polar bear,
there he is,
has been officially located.
Go to x96.com/live.
He's about to devour a baby seal. Do we need to do background on this?
Yeah, so stop there for just a second. So this was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been going on for a minute.
Somehow Bill was talking about Idaho, and I said, I lived in Idaho for a while. When I was little, I lived in Nampa, Idaho, and Bill said, what do you remember about living in Nampa, Idaho? And the first thing that came to my mind was the Karcher Mall in Nampa, Idaho had a giant stuffed polar bear stepping on a baby seal, getting ready to eat it. And I always wondered what happened to that.
Yeah, then we found out, you wondered if it was still there. We got reports, no, it's not still there. Well, where did it go? Well, Sketchy Blake has tracked it down. He says, now, before we celebrate with commemorative finger steaks, let me walk you through how we got here. Fueled by an insatiable desire for the truth and several unmedicated ADHD spirals, I embarked on a digital expedition. A few reverse image searches later, I find myself exactly where no one hopes to end up, the Fargo, North Dakota subreddit. I said a prayer to St. Carhart. Very clever. And then bravely posted about my quest for a taxidermied polar bear, expecting either help or a restraining order. I was quickly informed, politely, because Midwesterners don't do public shame, that there is no Cabela's in Fargo. So that's the report we had. That
yeah,
it was
somebody else said that yesterday.
It was at a Cabela's in Fargo. But there was a Bass Pro Shops in East Grand Forks, Minnesota, which used to be a Cabela's. And yes, I know Minnesota isn't North Dakota, but in flyover country, state lines are just decorative. Armed with this information and nothing else to do on my lunch break, I did what any serious investigative journalist / IT professional would do. I cold called the East Grand Forks Bass Pro Shop.
Yes.
I pressed 0. I spoke to a human. Her name was Carrie. I explained my polar bear investigation, and politely asked if she could send a photo. After reassuring her that, yes, my name is Sketchy Blake, but no, I'm not a weirdo calling random Minnesotans about dead animals, she agreed, and folks, she delivered. Attached is photographic proof of the bear in question, proudly displayed at the Bass Pro in East Grand Forks. The stance, the size, the overwhelming aura of, I once lived next to a hot dog on a stick. Mystery solved. Does that look like the
Yeah,
same?
that's him.
That's him.
That is him.
So
Wow.
this has been your Radio from Hell Field Report. I'm Sketchy Blake of Ogden. Still finger steakless, still full of questions, but now finally full of closure. Back to you, Lords of Morning Radio.
Well done, Sketchy Blake. I am so happy with this.
Investigative journalism at its finest.
Wow.
I think we need to so Blake, if you could get just some contact information for Carrie at the Bass Pro Shops, I think we should send her a little note, a handwritten note of thank you,
We could send her a coffee mug maybe or something.
or just some stickers. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Say thank you. You helped solve this mystery, and you came through with photos, and we're very happy about that. So thank you.
I'm so happy about all of this.
It has been a long investigation, keeping up with all of this.
Well, because, okay, so there's a giant stuffed polar bear at the mall, and then it's not there. That's not something that gets taken to the landfill.
No.
That ends
It gets
up
sold.
somewhere.
It gets sold. But here's my question. It's relatively appropriate to have it be a part of a diorama at a Bass Pro Shop or a Cabela's. But what in God's name was it doing in the middle of a mall?
I remember there being a plaque there, and I'm sure it explained.
Uh-oh. Blake? Blake? Sketchy
Another
Blake
mission.
of Ogden. What became of the plaque that was with the bear, and what did it say?
But I'm sure, I mean, I was really young at the time, but it occurs to me it probably said where it came from. Maybe it was a
More than likely.
Idaho resident who shot it and had it stuffed.
Here's
or
my
your guess.
my guess about it. So I tried to find out. Karcher Mall was obviously named after somebody named Karcher,
Sure.
Mr. Karcher. I'm guessing that Mr. Karcher
Was a hunter?
was a hunter.
Could be.
And he bagged that bear at some point and had it taxidermied.
It could be.
I bet you I'm just kind of guessing that's what it is.
I always thought it was illegal to kill polar bears. Maybe not way back in the day, but
it's you can.
I feel like it's suicide to even try it, though.
My guess is today you can still get a permit to kill a polar
I
bear.
I mean,
know.
I guess permits maybe.
I
Well,
bet
they're
not.
endangered,
Yeah,
aren't they?
I bet not.
I don't think you can.
But if this was back in the 60s,
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that's different.
Excuse me. What administration are we living under right now?
I mean,
I'm
you're
telling
not,
you, you can get a permit to kill a polar
You're not
bear.
wrong. You're
are you
probably
going to
not
make
wrong.
me Google? Can you get a Can you
I think it's probably possible. They give out one a year, or
kill
That's heartbreaking.
polar
and
bear?
here's the way they justify it. They charge an awful lot of money for it, and they say we are using this money to help preserve the polar bear.
So we're going to kill them.
Well,
But preserve them.
Yeah, that's done all the time.
In Alaska, natives can harvest polar bears for sustenance without a permit.
Natives.
Non-indigenous hunters can participate in a guided hunt with a permit.
I hate that.
I'm shocked.
I hate
that's-
that.
I'm not. Really, you're shocked?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I thought they were endangered.
Yeah.
They are, but you can get a permit to kill anything in this country. You can get a permit to kill anything in this world.
I hate that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
Well, to end on a sad note, that was an email of interest. Thank you, Sketchy Blake.
Well, excellent work.
I still want see if you can find the plaque, Blake.
All right. Weather, traffic?
Weather is hot. Traffic crash southbound I-15 off ramp 146 south. The right lane is being affected there. That's the only incident. Let me check our message stream, see if anybody sent anything in here. Blake says, "Don't inflame my ADHD and make me search for the play." Blake, you have done
Okay,
enough.
you're
you
fine.
Do not
You
have,
have.
you have more than done enough.
Although we don't have any finger sticks.
You have more than done enough, Blake. That's traffic.
All right.
Boners?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe?
I'm sorry. I was just looking at something else, but it's not important. Let's see. Boner candidate number one. These are the boners you'll be voting for in a moment. Number one is, well, now you'll have 20 years worth of orgasms in prison. Boner candidate number two, is this the play about the barber who kills people? And boner candidate number 3, he loosed his raccoon into the Big Apple Bar and Grill.
Wow.
Boners and big boy news coming up after these messages and a song in just a few minutes. But first, retire with Jim.
Yeah, well, now when we say retire with Jim, that doesn't mean you're going to retire and Jim's
going
going to
fishing?
come. Jim's going to come and
go.
live with you or something. No. Jim is a financial advisor. He's not going to come and live with you. And we trust our friend Jim Winokur with Financial Matters. And right now, Jim is offering a retirement review consultation. Normally, he charges $250 for this, but it's free for Radio from Hell listeners right now. All you have to do is visit retirewithjim.com/X96. Jim's a local guy, experienced with retirement planning, but now these slots fill up quickly. He's only one guy, and he's only got 24 hours in a day. So make an appointment today to visit with Jim. Retirewithjim.com/X96. A lot of uncertainty going on right now in the economy. Don't you want to know that your career, the money you've been saving up, is well taken care of so that you can retire with the security? Visit retirewithjim.com/X96 today. To make a little money on the side.
Okay.
When
Supplements. That's how you do it. Supplements.
When you were growing up, did you try to make money, have a job like mowing lawns?
Yeah.
Were you ever good at it at all?
No.
No, I never was either.
We tried selling. We sold tomatoes.
Yeah, vegetables. We had this huge vegetable garden, and so there was more vegetables we could eat. So we get a wagon and go around, try to sell vegetables, but nobody.
I got my paper route.
Mm-hmm.
I did do that. Mm-hmm. Hated that.
Yeah,
oh man, I
really hated.
Well, you had to get up early.
Yeah.
Well, no, just on Sundays. The Standard Examiner was an
Yes.
afternoon paper.
Yes.
That
Some
was
of those.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I worked for my grandfather a lot. But I was just thinking about that because I was reading this article. It's the weirdest side hustles that can make you real money.
Okay, like what?
Supplements.
Pooper scooper.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still use the pooper scooper?
I do.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Pooper scooper.
He comes on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
He must be doing well. He has a very large truck.
And it's full of poop. And yeah,
that's a job I hate to do.
Yeah,
like
I
that's
hate it too.
and it's not that expensive, Des.
No.
So it's a win-win. It's
Yeah, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
He comes up and does it.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Baby gear rental.
Oh,
So, like if you have a bunch of old baby stuff that your kids have outgrown,
yeah.
you could donate it to the road home, or you could make some money off it. You just rent it out.
like a
like a
jogging
bassinet or a-
stroller. You only need,
yeah.
you don't use a jogging stroller all the time
Or a bassinet, or a,
Okay.
for when they're smaller.
just rent it out until that person no longer needs it, and then say, okay, bring it back, and I'll rent it to somebody else. So that might work out. Friend services.
Like what?
Yeah, what's...
Well, there are a lot of lonely people in the world. I will be a friend to you for $150 an hour.
That one's a little weird.
Rent a friend. I don't. It's kind of maybe.
I
would
need
be
a
okay.
date for a wedding or
Yeah,
something.
kind of. Or would you just come over and play cards with me for a couple of hours? Or,
I guess it would depend on what you're doing.
sell your underwear.
Nope, I'm out.
Well, I don't want to buy your underwear anywhere.
That's gross and weird.
But that's, it's like people. You'd sell it to people who want to buy.
Yeah, I know
used
why.
underwear.
Yeah.
Sell your hair,
Oh,
I thought you donate your hair to Locks of Love. That
Gina.
Well,
the point
oh.
of this is to make money on the side.
Okay.
I'm not going to make money on the side donating
Okay.
it. This I don't know about this one. Line standing.
Yeah, I'll keep your place in line.
I'll keep your place in line. You pay me.
I don't remember the last time I stood in a line for a long time. I don't know. Virtual juror. So apparently, law firms do a lot of mock trials.
Oh, I see.
You know,
Practice.
to get clients ready,
Yeah.
and they
That
they
might
actually
be kind of interesting to do.
yeah. And
Sure.
apparently they hire
Especially if it's
jurors,
zoomed in.
and you can do it. Yeah, you can do it at home.
Okay, that's the first one you've said that I'm sort of interested in.
Well, how about this one though? Sell your poop.
No, oh, this is for like.
Companies need
Yeah.
human
Oh, I
feces for a wide variety of research purposes, and they're willing to pay for it, as much as $500 per donation. Or, I guess you can get on it as a regular basis, and they'll
a
just
subscription?
$1,500. You can make $1,500 a month.
Oh, here's somebody who has paid someone to stand in line for Red Butte concerts.
You know what? Red Butte was the first thing I thought of, because the thing about Red Butte is if you want a good spot, you have to get there early, and it's usually really hot.
Yeah.
Standing in line there, and okay.
Well, okay.
So that's just some ideas if you want to make a little money on the side. Fortunately, the three of us are rolling in cash, so
Yeah.
we don't need to do that.
Although Radio from Hell brand turmeric, we're selling turmeric.
It's good for you.
Good for you. Trust us, it's good for you. What does it do? What do you need it to do?
Makes you healthy.
Whatever you need it to do.
Yeah, just makes you healthy.
Well, I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
It'll take care of that.
Sure. If you're going to be asking these kind of questions, Gina, I don't think we want you on the
It
team.
hurts when I do this. Will
Oh,
it help that?
turmeric.
Oh, okay.
Turmeric will take care of that for you.
Mumford and Sons, 721.
Are there any sons in Mumford and
Sure,
Sons?
yeah.
They're all the boys are sons of somebody.
But they're not.
I thought it was a father and like two or
It's
three
not
of
like
his sons.
it's not
Oh,
like
okay.
Mr. Mumford and
No.
his sons.
No.
No.
And they're coming to town June 14th to Utah Credit Union Amphitheater, and we will have tickets to Mumford and Sons to give away for Beat Gina coming up in about an hour.
I'd like to ask him, how did you ever think you could get away with putting a banjo into modern music,
It
modern
worked.
popular
I was
music?
going to say they did it.
Yep.
It worked.
Yep. But that took balls to do that.
It's time for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories, examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote which one is the worst, the one that deserves to be called the Boner of the Day. Boner means mistake. 2 candidates now, then the news, then a 3rd candidate after that. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. And one of you lucky Boner voters will receive a Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt.
You did that perfectly.
Thank you.
You did.
You sounded a little hesitant, like.
I dove in.
But you so tomorrow I want you to do it, and I want you to do it with confidence.
You know what's funny is I found the old script for that.
Oh, I don't need it. I
There's
got
a
it.
script?
I got it.
Apparently, somebody typed up a script a while ago. It's in the back of my '60s book. It was a treasure to find.
I probably did that at some point.
Maybe.
All right, here we go. Boner candidate number 1. Well, now you'll have 20 years worth of orgasms in prison. The founder and the sales chief of a, quote, orgasmic meditation company were convicted by a Brooklyn jury of coercing members into degrading work at the cult-like wellness group. Jurors deliberated for 2 days after a 5-week trial. The two now face up to 20 years in prison when they are sentenced. They said that Daydone, who is 57, of New York, and Cherwitz of California used economic, sexual, and psychological abuse, intimidation, and indoctrination to force one-taste members into sexual acts that they found uncomfortable or repulsive, such as having sex with prospective investors or clients. Unless they demonstrated their commitment to the organization's principles, followers were told that they would not obtain freedom, enlightenment, or, of course, their earnings. Some were forced to take out new credit cards to continue taking the company's courses. Joseph Nocella, U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, said the jury's verdict was has unmasked, Daydone and Cherwitz for who they truly are. Grifters who preyed on vulnerable victims by making empty promises of sexual empowerment and wellness only to manipulate them into performing labor and services for the defendant's benefit. One Taste, the organization promoting orgasmic meditation, was founded in San Francisco in 2004 and grew internationally through the 2010s. The marketing masterstroke, a group masturbation session led by men.
Okay.
By 2017, it was generating $12 million a year, and Daydone sold it for that amount shortly before a Netflix expose was broadcast and the FBI launched a sex trafficking investigation that ultimately led to the charges. And by the way, none of the people involved in that grift, as far as I can tell, are drag queens or trans people. Boner candidate number 1. Well, now you're going to have 20 years worth of orgasms in prison. Here's boner candidate number 2. Is this the play about the barber who kills people? J.D. Vance.
Ah, I see.
And his wife, Usha. Usha. They're going to the play, with the president, going to see Les Mis, and they're with Donald Trump and Melania.
Double date.
Yeah, just before the show, J.D. Vance wanted to make it very clear he had no idea what the play was about. The vice president posted, about to see Les Miserables with POTUS at the Kennedy Center. Me to Usha. So what's this about? A barber who kills people? In a follow-up tweet, the vice president added, oh, that's apparently a different thing called Sweeney Todd. Given that Les Miserables is one of the most enduring and widely performed modern musicals, and that it's based on what's considered one of the most important novels of the 19th century, not a lot of people are buying J.D. Vance's ignorance about it.
He thinks he's funny, and he's not.
You can drop the I'm still an Appalachian hillbilly thing. It's not a bad thing that you've moved beyond your rustic upbringings. Another posted, this is not cute. Les Mis is a searing indictment of authoritarianism, showing how state repression and inequality crushes lives and how resistance and mercy become acts of salvation. I love that they're going to a musical while our rights are actively being restricted and that they're trying to ruin lives. It's almost like they're trying to make us Les Miserables. Boner candidate number 2, J.D. Vance. Is this the play about the barber who kills people?
Not funny.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. He loosed his raccoon into the Big Apple Bar and Grill.
Boner candidate 3 coming up after this big boy news and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Quench your advertising thirst with customized water bottles. Look, I've got one right here.
Oh, wait.
From Water Specialties, Inc., your high-quality personalized logo printed on every bottle filled with purified natural spring water. It's the perfect way to advertise your business or event. Get a quote by emailing Megan, MEGAN, at waterspecialties.net. See, look at our Radio from Hell water there at x96.com/live.
And mine is, I've got one that says, it's just got the X96 logo on it.
All of our socials are attached to that, too. You can scan a barcode or a thing.
And you know what? The water's delicious.
All right, news.
Here we go. I shouldn't feel bad for Justin Bieber, but why do I?
Well,
he's
you can feel bad for him. I think he struggles a lot. I think he was taken advantage of when he was a kid.
He could be placed into a conservatorship by his wife, Haley, if she can prove 3 key points to the courts amid his concerning behavior. In recent weeks, he's gone on bizarre rants. Look at him there. He does not look well.
No, he's not.
And he's appeared incoherent in photographs and videos, leading fans to believe it's time for Justin to seek some help. As a seasoned attorney, I'll say this bluntly. Who is this? It's a seasoned attorney. He says, if Justin Bieber's recent behavior is as troubling as reported amidst erratic social media posts, visible signs of impairment, and statements hinting at isolation and emotional instability, then yes, a conservatorship should be considered. That's powerhouse legal expert Jamie Wright. I feel bad for his wife as well.
Yeah.
I seem to remember, and I don't.
You don't follow.
I don't follow
close.
these people,
Yeah.
or I couldn't even name a Justin Bieber song. I know I've heard them.
Oh, I definitely could.
But it seems to me that there used to be pictures of them as a happy, healthy-looking couple, having a nice life.
Mm-hmm.
And now, geez, I feel bad for her too.
Yeah,
because she's
doing well. She just sold her makeup company for $1 billion.
The way this picture is juxtaposed, I think, is interesting. It looks as though she's looking at him in the other picture, but she's not. And she just has this look of, oh God, just
he's not well.
No, he's not.
Listen, let's see. Let's do Utah's alcohol authority, Tiffany Clayson. She's the head of the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Services. Been on our show before. A nice woman and a smart woman, and has done very well for the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Services. She's stepping down at the end of this month. She is going to take a job in the private sector. Tiffany's 5 years of leading the DABS is marked with unprecedented advancements, where she oversaw improvements to the department's technology, infrastructure, bridge building and industry and community partners, and a robust culture shift towards better service, the agency said in a statement. And it really has become easier to obtain alcohol in Utah without the hassles, and she's really gone a long way to upgrade things, and I think she's done a terrific job. You know how I feel about stupid headlines in the news. Here's one.
Okay.
Man arrested after allegedly fighting cops attempting to steal cars.
The cops were stealing cars?
Sure, what the headline says, isn't it?
Very clear.
What's wrong with people? And even if an AI wrote that,
somebody should have checked
it. You see somebody. A Utah man is in custody and being held without bail after police say he stole one vehicle and attempted to steal another and fought with a Salt Lake City police officer. Bentley Estelivian Scow. Bentley Estelivian Scow was arrested. According to court documents, police were called to search for a suspect who had attempted to steal a woman's car at a 7-Eleven on 2100 South. The victim told officers that the suspect, identified as Bentley Scow, had been chased off to the south. An officer was able to locate Mr. Scow near a UTA rail line. The officer announced his presence and ordered Scow to stop. When he failed to do so, he was followed, stopped. He fought with the officer, but finally he was taken into custody. There is no evidence that there were any police officers attempting to steal cars. God, what
poorly written.
What a headline. Let's see. Utah has gotten approval from U.S. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins and Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. To ban the purchase of soda pop with SNAP funds, with food stamps. The waivers are sought by the state of Utah after a bill was passed in the legislature were granted late Tuesday, effective 2026. Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program benefit funds will be prohibited from purchasing soda pop, soft drinks with their SNAP funds. Can't do it anymore. Let's see. Donald Trump giving a speech at Fort Bragg the other day. It was supposed to be a routine appearance, a visit from the commander-in-chief.
It's hard to stay, I know.
To rally the troops, boost morale, and celebrate the Army's 250th birthday week. which culminates with a Washington, D.C. parade slated for Saturday, which, by the way, 50 Republican senators, I think all but 8 of them have said, no, I can't be there at the parade.
All but 8?
Yeah, all 50, yeah. Yeah,
But 8. There are only going to
I
be
think that's
8
right.
Republican senators at the parade?
Yeah, the rest of we have scheduling conflicts.
Really?
Instead, what unfolded Tuesday at Fort Bragg bore little resemblance to the customary visit from a president and defense secretary. There, Donald Trump unleashed a speech laced with partisan invective, goading jeers from a crowd of soldiers positioned below his podium, blurring the long-standing and sacrosanct line between the military and partisan politics. As Trump viciously attacked his perceived political foes, he whipped up boos from the gathered troops directed at California leaders. So they weren't booing Trump, they were booing Gavin Newsom amid the president's controversial move to deploy the National Guard and Marines against Los Angeles, as well as former President Joe Biden and the press. The soldiers roared with laughter and applauded Trump's diatribe in a shocking and rare public display of troops taking part in political partisanship. First of all, it's just not done that the president or somebody giving a speech like that makes it political, and it's certainly not done that the troops roar support.
Yeah.
Well, why did this happen? It's because all of the troops that were there were picked specifically to be there.
Really?
There was a tightly organized effort to curate the optics of Trump's recent visit, including hand-picking soldiers for the audience based on political leanings and physical appearance.
Of course.
The troops ultimately selected to be behind Trump and visible to the cameras were almost exclusively male.
Yep.
The message from on high said, "We don't want any fat soldiers there." And if soldiers
it's a
who have
TV show, it is always a TV
Yeah.
show.
if soldiers have political views that are in opposition to the current administration and they don't want to be in the audience, then they need to speak with their leadership and get swapped out. So that's that. Let's see. And where is that story? Oh, there it is. I found it. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. named 8 new vaccine policy advisors to replace the ones that he abruptly fired this week.
Oh,
they include...
I'm sure they're all very qualified. And
Well, I will say this. As far as I know, none of them are trans or drag queens. But they do include a scientist who researched mRNA vaccine technology and became a conservative darling for his criticism of COVID-19 vaccines, a leading critic of pandemic-era lockdowns, and a professor of operations management. Kennedy's decision to retire the previous 17-member advisory committee on immunization practices was widely decried by doctors and other public health organizations who feared that the advisors would be replaced by a group aligned with Kennedy's desire to reassess and possibly end long-standing vaccine requirements.
I feel like we're going to have to start paying attention to health directives in France and Germany.
Everything
and
from overseas.
I'm serious.
No, I agree.
The World Health Organization.
World Health Organization. I think I'm going to start listening to what they have
that's
to say.
fine, but
about
you know
these
what
things.
else this will do? Is that it'll mean that your insurance company will
Yep.
say, well, we're not going to cover that.
Yep.
We're not going to cover those vaccines.
Of course not. All right, is that it?
I guess.
Weather traffic.
You're signifying that that's it, so I guess that's it.
Weather brought to you by Cascade Collision Repair, Utah's leader for certified repairs. Get a free estimate online at cascadecollision.com or in person, including their newest location in West Valley. We are hot and staying that way. That little bit of cloud cover and a hint of maybe rain yesterday. None of that for the next several. Today we have a high of 93. It's 70 right now. Overnight low 64. We stay in the mid to upper 90s. I'm looking all the way through Father's Day into the first part of next week. We just stay hot, hot, hot.
I am glad my pool just opened.
Oh,
Yeah.
just in time, Katie.
Exactly.
Let's see what traffic we have to tell you about. Crash southbound I-15 off-ramp at 146 South. Infinity member says just drove by small pickup covered in stickers, and a lot of them are old and new X96 and Radio from Hell stickers. Thank you, Infinity. Not only do you tell us what you're seeing on the roads traffic-wise, but alert us to our other friends of the program out there on the road. Thank you for that. Don't pay for tires and oil changes ever again. Get tires and oil changes for life with every new and used Mazda purchase from Bountiful Mazda. See Bountiful Mazda today for details.
Is it a nice pool?
It's a very nice pool.
Can you have guests?
I can have up to 2 guests per apartment, Bill.
2 guests per. How many apartments do you have?
Well, I have 1 apartment, so you know.
Okay.
Oh, and another quick traffic. Don't forget about the Fastenal move. Multiple semis on the road all day today. Yes, thank you for that.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. He loosed his raccoon into the Big Apple Bar and Grill. That's what it says right here. In a release, a man identified as Jonathan Mason allegedly, quote, loosed a raccoon into an open business in Murray, Kentucky before leaving the scene. According to police, the Murray Sentinel, the place of business was identified as the Big Apple Grill and Bar, not Bar and Grill. The police say they received a call about the incident. The caller alleged that an individual had intentionally released or loosed a raccoon into an open business. Officers soon located the individual while he was operating his vehicle, and they conducted a traffic stop on him. The man refused to roll down his window or leave the car. This resulted in the officers having to remove Mr. Mason from the car. According to police, Mason had already been warned that he was not allowed on the property of that business. Mason was arrested, charged with a bunch of different criminal offenses. And Mason's his recent unrest comes following another arrest when he allegedly drunkenly rode a mule to a liquor store.
He has an animal thing.
He was arrested several days later trying to reclaim his mule, which had been taken by the police.
Impounded mule?
Yep. Police contacted the Big Apple Grill and Bar for comment, but they didn't hear back. Oh, they did hear back. The raccoon was eventually cornered and taken into custody, but it bit somebody in the bar as well. Boner candidate number 3. He loosed his raccoon into the Big Apple Grill and Bar.
All right. Recap of 1 and 2, and then it'll be time to vote.
Boner candidate number 1. Well, now you're going to have 20 years worth of orgasms in prison. The founder and the sales chief of an orgasmic meditation company were convicted of coercing members into degrading work and sex acts and things like that, and they now face up to 20 years in prison for their crimes. There's a picture of one of them right there. There's boner candidate number 2. Is this the play about the barber who kills people? I'm J.D. Vance. I'm so funny. I'm going to see Les Miserables, but I'm being funny, you know. Is it about that barber? Shh. And then boner candidate number 3, he loosed his raccoon into the Big Apple Bar and Grill. Looks pretty proud of himself for doing it, too.
He sure does.
Time to vote.
All right. Boner of the day. You can go vote in 3 different ways. 1, 2, or 3. Choose the one that you think should win. You can text us at 33986. Just put 1, 2, or 3 in the text line and nothing else, or it won't be counted. You can call 877-602-9696 and talk to Maya in the studio, who will take your vote down. Or you can go on over to x96.com, find the Boner page, and vote right there in our voting poll. It's all the X poll coming up here in just a few minutes. Go vote. You've got about 4 minutes before that happens.
746.
7:46, and it is time to award the Boner of the Day.
And the Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by Bee-Bam Bop.
It's fun to say, isn't it?
It is.
It's a Korean rice dish.
Sounds great.
And Summer Showdown continues this weekend with Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. 3D glasses provided. And The Burning, 1981, for the 50th anniversary. See the restored version of the Eerie classic Picnic at Hanging Rock. Get your tickets now at slfstix.org. Now, before we award the Boner,
Yeah.
we're doing an X poll right now, so we need to start lining up your phone calls for that. 877-602-9696. 2 questions. You can answer one, either, or both. First movie.
One, either, or
One.
both. Yeah, okay. Just it sounded weird.
First question.
First movie that ever scared you.
Okay.
The last movie that ever scared you.
Most recent.
Most recent movie that
Okay.
ever. Or you can give us both of them.
Yeah.
877-602-9696.
I'm sure Katie knows exactly what they are.
I've been prepping since yesterday for this question.
All right. Let's see now. So let's see. We had Boner Ken. I'm looking at the totals here. So pretty even voting. I mean, all of them got a good handful of votes. Boner candidate number 1, the Orgasm in Prison. That came in. It came in last, but got 31 votes, which is. Let's see. Boner candidate number 2. Oh, I see. Boner candidate number 3 came in second, the Raccoon. Mm-hmm. But
That was a good candidate.
But J.D. Vance, just under 100 votes, is Boner of the Day. Is this the play about the barber that kills people?
I'm just a rube.
Hey, look,
No.
Usha thought it was funny.
That drives me nuts. Sweeney Todd is my personal favorite musical. As we know, I do have portraits of them tattooed on my feet. Anyways, it is time for the Expo. Is it sponsored?
Yeah, Cabin Fever, locally owned and operated since 1982, located in the heart of Trolley Square. It's Cabin Fever, so much more than a gift store.
So much more. I mean, incredibly more than just a run-of-the-mill gift store.
X-Poll we need your help with. 877-602-9696. We're looking for the first movie that ever scared you, the most recent movie that has scared you.
I used to be terrified of scary movies, and so much so that, and I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was like to the invaders on a spaceship, and they were going to Mars, and there were these Martian creatures, and I was a little
Not
kid.
Mars Attacks, is it?
No. No. And I think I was 12 or something like that. And it made me so frightened and scared. I felt sick for 3 or 4 days and refused to leave the property.
Really? That
Interesting.
scared you that much?
Yeah, it really did. And then I guess the most recent movie to scare me, probably that Australian. No, it just left my mind.
Australian.
Think of it for a second.
The with the little kid and the car.
Skinamarink.
No, that's Skinamarink.
No, that was a weird one.
That was just kind of dumb.
Australian one.
Think
of it.
I will.
What are your
My very first one that ever scared me is the scariest Disney movie ever made. It is called Watcher in the Woods.
That was creepy. The good thing about Watcher in the Woods, it's not bloody.
No.
It's not. It is just eerie.
It is beautifully done. I love Watcher in the Woods. I own it on DVD copy.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Betty Davis.
Yeah.
The last movie Betty Davis was in.
And she was scary alone herself. The most recent movie that scared me, the most recent one that kept me on my toes and kept me on the edge of the seat itself was Green Room. With so it's about this punk band that goes and performs at a Nazi bar with, and they stumble upon something they're not supposed to see after they get kicked out of the green room, and all hell ensues. Do
you get scared anymore, Katie, or do you just enjoy?
It takes a lot to scare me. I think the biggest thing you'll ever get me with is probably this weird, strange video game where there's a shark in the water and you have to swim through water and there's sharks.
I remember the movie.
Yes.
The Sound of Music. No, it was the Babadook.
Oh, that movie was very good.
We interviewed the director at Sundance.
Yeah. Yes.
The Babadook. Scary.
877-602-9696.
We have a couple of callers. Let's go to Meg.
Hi, Meg. Where are you calling from?
Hey, Salt Lake City, Sugar House area.
Okay, first movie that really scared you.
Okay, this might sound silly to young people, but I went and saw E.T. in the theaters when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And when the alien was first introduced, it freaked me out.
It was
I've never
scary.
seen anything like it.
I don't disagree with you.
And then now, but when you look back on it now, you go,
Yeah.
kind of like, what? And yeah.
It's kind of cute now.
And movies a long time ago, you didn't get leaked pictures of what things
No.
were going to look like, so you really were surprised
Yeah.
when you went to the movie. So yeah, we didn't know what E.T. was going to look like.
And trailers didn't give anything
Anything
away.
recently? Anything recently, Meg?
I think the last movie that kind of freaked me out was the movie Barbarian.
That one was so good.
I don't know.
Is that the Airbnb
Yes,
one?
it is.
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård is in it. You
Yeah.
think he's going to be the bad guy. It's so... That movie was very good. I agree.
Thanks, Meg.
Thanks, babe.
Let's go to
Marianne.
Hi, Mary.
Marianne.
Where are you, Marianne?
I'm on my way to work.
Okay, what scared you?
So my first movie was Poltergeist because I was a child when I watched
That's a
it,
good one.
and still to this day I can't see a screen that's like
Yeah.
fuzzing out without getting a little weirded
Yeah,
out.
I was an adult when I saw it, and I don't remember being really scared, but it was gripping.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would say it was very gripping.
Creepy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything recently
Thank you.
Anything recently scare you?
I just don't like anything that because I've had kids. I don't like anything that involves kids. So like La Llorona and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
fair.
All right. See you later.
Thanks, Marianne. Martha.
Hi, Martha. Where are you calling from?
Hello. I'm actually in my parking lot in Draper.
Okay.
About to go into work.
Okay.
But thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the first movie is going to age me quite a bit that ever scared me. I was a really little kid. I saw Watership Down.
Yeah.
Scared
Those
the heck out of me.
those rabbits are
The
really
bloody rabbits?
they are disgusting. Yeah.
I was just a little kid. It was a very violent movie and
It
scared
is.
the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maren. Martha. It's Martha.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Martha. We got a couple more minutes. Let's go to Cole.
Hey, Cole.
What's your scary
Hey.
movie?
When I was a kid, they put all of the old It shows into one, like a movie, and that it made me stare at the drain for like 5 years as a kid.
Fair. I
Every time
understand
I
that.
showered.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Anything recent, Cole?
I grew up on a dairy farm, so Signs scared the crap out of me. It was probably the last
okay.
one.
Signs is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Then
M.
Dennis
Night
Quaid.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Cole.
877-602-9696.
It's Allison Sabo.
Yeah, I'm calling from the southest of Salt Lakes. The first movie I remember actually scaring me was it was in the series Tales from the Crypt. It's a movie called Demon Night. Where like a bunch of demons show up and someone's holding a flask of what's supposed to be Jesus's blood, and it's like sealing off this abandoned. The blood is magic, and it seals off this abandoned house. And yeah, I remember it just like scarring me, and then more recently I've learned to understand horror. So horror doesn't really get me, but I remember the last movie I watched that made me really uneasy, that I had to stand up, pause it, turn the lights off, was No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, that's creepy in a different way.
Yeah.
It was how is Javier Bardem doing what he's doing, and why is nobody listening?
Can I tell you my favorite line from that movie? It's when Tommy Lee Jones and what's his name his deputy
Josh Brolin.
His deputy,
Oh.
not Josh Brolin. They go and they're looking down into the valley where all those people have been killed, and the deputy says, "Well, boy, that sure is a mess, isn't it, Sheriff?" And Tommy Lee Jones goes, "Well, it'll do until the mess gets here."
That's a good line.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was just a movie that just made me go, oh, I can't. No
All right.
wonder it was nominated for an Oscar. I get it.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, Allison.
Thanks, Allison. All right. The X poll continues after these messages. 877-602-9696. The question is the first movie that ever scared you and the most recent movie that ever scared you. So call in 877-602-9696. Everybody on the phones, hang on the line. We'll get to you in the next break.
It was Garrett Dillahunt who's the deputy. I couldn't
There
think
you
of his
go.
name.
There you go. All right.
Traffic.
Yes.
Crash northbound I-215 west, 12th north in Salt Lake, milepost 24. Crash southbound I-15, milepost 335. That's the off-ramp at 650 north in Clearfield. Right shoulder is closed. Crash eastbound I-80 at SR 201 to eastbound I-80 ramp. Right lane closed there. And whatever you're seeing on the roads, you can text us and let us know. 33986.
All right. Again, X poll coming up after these messages. Stockton 12 Honda.
Yeah, Stockton 12 Honda in the Southtown Auto Mall in Sandy. I've bought cars from Stockton 12 Honda many times. I will continue to do so. They're kind of they are my preferred auto dealer. 25 years in business at Stockton 12 Honda out there in the Southtown Auto Mall in Sandy. Now, right now, trade-in values are really, really good. They're at their peak. And I don't know why that would be, but I trust that they are. Used car values are the highest they've ever been. So they have expert appraisers out at Stockton 12 Honda, and they will give you top dollar for your trade-in. Stockton 12 Honda, your neighborhood Honda dealer. From the moment you step in the door, you'll find the best sales and service experience around. Everybody who works there you can tell they're happy to be working there. They have a good atmosphere, and that's great. Stockton 12 Honda, you can trust them. Their service department is great. They're in the Southtown Auto Mall in Sandy. Just south is the Southtown Mall. You go all the way down the road, almost to the Costco. It's Stockton 12 Honda.
Coming up on
or the X-Poll.
And Mike and Harriman texted in. You can text in, too, if you want. Might not get to your movie, but
Yeah.
Mike from Harriman texted in.
Harriman. Okay, let's get to the phones. The phones are full. Let's just see how many people we can get to. Your scariest movie, first scary movie, and the most recent. And so we're at Melissa.
Melissa, yes.
Hi, Melissa.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. What's your scary movie that really scared you when you were young?
So it's kind of embarrassing, but the first movie that actually gave me nightmares for the first time was the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It's scary.
It's the boat scene.
There's lots of scary stuff in there.
Nightmares about being sucked up the chocolate tube. And when I was a kid, I was always told by like my mom and my grandma and whatever that if I had a scary dream to think of something that made me happy. And for the longest time, I couldn't think of chocolate.
Oh, no.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Let's go to Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Hi. What movie scared you?
Alien. It scared me so bad, and I had a headgear that I had to wear at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wore it religiously because I thought, okay, the alien can't implant its egg inside me because I'm wearing my headgear.
Smart.
There you go. And Emily, anything recently frighten you?
Hereditary.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, pretty good. It was pretty
Hereditary
good.
was really good. Filmed here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Emily.
Thanks, Emily. All right, let's go to Doug.
Hi, Doug. What's your movie? What scared you when you were a little kid? First movie.
American Werewolf in London.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's just...
my friends and I thought we'd be tough. We kind of snuck into it, and at that first attack scene, we all knew we were in over our heads. We were 12.
Again, I saw that.
We were all 10 or 12.
I saw it when I was an adult, and I just remember sitting there thinking, this movie is so cool.
If I remember correctly, it is the very first werewolf, like full werewolf transformation you see on film.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Really good.
Such
we
a good
left
one.
the theater after that attack scene and then decided we would toughen up. We came back a couple days later and made it to the hospital scene and then left again and never saw.
I know the feeling.
We
I
never
know.
saw it in it.
I know.
That's
we
good.
never saw the whole thing until it was on a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know the feeling. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Nope, can't do it. Gotta go.
Gotta go. No.
We've got Jana on the phone.
Hey, Jana.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What scared you the most when you were the first movie that scared you?
Well, I'm old, Bill. Really old. We used to watch this show called Vampira Shock Theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it always had, like, Dracula versus werewolf and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I hated The Mummy.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me, and I was 6 years old.
Yeah, and this would be the original black and white.
The Universal Studios one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, those were very well done.
My dad showed me that one for the first time. Yeah.
Anything you watch scary movies now as you're older?
No, I hate scary movies.
Okay.
And one that is recent, but not recent, that is kind of like the last one I saw was that S.
Oh, yes.
About this wicked scientist who turns a man into a snake.
Yeah, Strother Martin and
want to cry.
Strother Martin and Dirk Benedict.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks, Jana.
That's actually kind of a really cool movie. It's it's kind of creepy and it's good. It's well done.
Yeah. Let's go to Donnie. Is it Donnie?
Oh, Donnie.
Hello, happy 39th. I didn't get to call in on Monday. Missed
Oh,
your
it's
chat.
It's Dawn, our old friend Dawn.
Hello.
What's your scary movie?
I was old when I saw it, and so it was Nightmare on Elm Street, and I fell asleep, and so I was having this nightmare, and I woke up just in time to see him crawling across the ceiling, and I almost died.
Yeah, well, that'd do it.
That's one that can come back and get you later.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Dawn.
Thanks, Dawn. Good to hear from you.
All right, God bless you. Love you. Bye.
Take care. Looks like we have, is it Leandra?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, what's your scary movie?
The Changeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was in 5th grade, and we watched it with friends, and that was a scary one. Yep.
I agree.
Okay.
I remember seeing that too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Looks like we have Amanda. Amanda?
Hello?
Hi.
Good morning.
What's your scary movie?
When I was 8, my cousin snuck me in to see Scream.
Yes.
Scared the bejesus out of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nightmares for weeks. It
Yeah.
was not good when I had to tell my parents I saw it.
Yeah.
8 years old. That's pretty young.
That's
to
pretty
see
young
that.
for Scream.
It's like my wife said that her older sister made her watch The Exorcist when she was too young. to
Oh,
see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that one.
When I went to see The Exorcist in the theater, and it was pretty scary. I mean, I was kind of scared, but I was there with my friend Chris Barnes, and he was down on his hands and knees on the floor of the theater going, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. He was so scared by that. And that movie actually left me feeling a little unsettled for a couple of days.
Fair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Oh, sorry. I will say I had a friend walk out of the movie theater during The Messengers, which is not a very scary movie
I
in
don't
my personal
remember that
opinion.
one.
It's a Kirsten Stewart movie when she was younger about a haunted farm that she moves to.
A haunted farm.
A haunted farm, yeah.
That sounds really scary.
Incredibly original.
Yeah.
Some people are texting in The Ring.
Okay,
that's a
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Amityville Horror. Arachnophobia.
We got another Watcher in the Woods in the texting.
I thought arachnophobia was just kind of amusing.
No, I still, if I'm showering and I think too much about the shower head, and I'm just sure there's a spider waiting up there.
What sort of thought process is it that you're in the shower and you start thinking about the shower head?
Well, no. When I look, if I look at it too much and start thinking about the spider that might be hiding up there, and then when I close my eyes to wash my face, he's going to come down.
It's a
I just
spider.
know it.
Yep.
Another texter says Leprechaun. That movie I just found incredibly funny.
Quiet Place.
That's a good one.
The sequels are really good too.
I finally watched the day one, and that was really good.
When I was a very little kid, and I've looked this up before, and I can't remember what it's called now, but it was on. My parents were watching. I think it was Ed Sullivan or something, and he said, "Now we're going to show this short film. It's a little short film about nuclear war." Mm-hmm. And it was a black and white animated film. It was silent, and it showed mushroom clouds, and then it showed animals and people looking up at the mushroom cloud, and then their eyes going black.
Oh, jeez. That's
and
horrible.
I've looked it up before. I'll see if I can find it again. It was like a 4, 5, 6 minute film, but it was meant to be, let's not go detonating no nuclear bombs.
It stuck with you.
An anti-nuke film.
Fair.
But it was very scary.
Corbin texted in, and this is my most recent one, Civil War.
Yeah, that one.
That was pretty scary.
Was
with Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons.
It's just too real.
Yeah,
and Jesse Plemons was just too real in that movie.
That scene, and he's only in it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That scene with him is the scariest.
Yeah.
And that's good, plump Jesse Plemons. Yeah. That's plump Jesse Plemons.
You don't like...
Skinny Jesse Plemons couldn't have pulled that off.
Well, we can finish off with Ben. Ben, are you there?
Hi, Ben.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Tell us about your movie.
The first one that scared me was probably arachnophobia.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst part is, right after we watched it, I was like 4 or 5 years old. My mom said, okay, it's time to go take a bath.
Yep.
So I go into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little crack in the tub.
Yep.
And a spider's egg sac hatched right as I was getting in.
It did not.
It did. And my older brothers and sisters still make fun of me for it, and I'm still terrified of spiders.
Yeah.
I am too. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, thanks.
So we should put this on our social media,
Yes,
and you can share your scary movies there.
Yeah. Sorry, Alan, we are out of time for this, that. But it will be on our social media, so you can go add your stories there. Gina, weather traffic?
Just do traffic. Crash southbound I-15 at the I-15-215 junction in Davis County. The left lane is closed there. Crash northbound I-215 west 12th north in Salt Lake. Crash southbound I-15 at the off-ramp 650 north in Clearfield. The right shoulder is affected there. And a crash eastbound I-80 at the SR-201 eastbound I-80 ramp. The right lane is closed there. Deer Valley Music Festival is back for 2025 with tickets on sale now. Spread out your blankets, enjoy the breathtaking views accompanied by world-class talent of the Utah Symphony at the Deer Valley Music Festival this July and August in Park City. Get tickets and information at x96.com.
All right, we've got Beat Gina coming up after these messages and a song. What could people win?
Catch Mumford & Sons with Good Neighbors June 14th at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater.
All right, Mumford & Sons tickets for Beat Gina. Call 877-602-9696. The earlier your call, the better chance you have of lining up and winning these Mumford & Sons tickets after these.
Is this a list that you have?
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
It's not a long list.
Okay.
It's the top 5 spooky comedies most recommended by experts. I don't know how you become an expert in spooky comedies. Watching funny horror movies is a great way to experience both the thrill of a scare and the laughter of comedy. These films often feature campy characters, over-the-top gore, and self-referential humor. I feel like Carrie mentioned one of those in Geek News earlier, the new movie, the Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, Lisa Frankenstein.
Lisa Frankenstein. I'm guessing that's probably...
That is going to be a horror comedy.
Lauren Boebert thinks this is sexy, but Beetlejuice is number 1 on the list for...
Forever tainted by Lauren Boebert.
I bet there will be a lot of Beetlejuice and Lauren Boebert coupled costumes.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a good.
Don't you think?
That's a good.
Sure. Breaking out the vinyl from this list, by the way.
Oh,
it's live.
It's a live. I was going to say that's not.
Blue Oyster Cult.
So Beetlejuice, I would say more funny than scary.
100%.
Well, yeah. What I love about Beetlejuice is its whole take on, we talk about world building.
Mm-hmm.
Its whole take on the afterlife is so intricate and funny at the same time.
I mean, the waiting room is very reminiscent of our own Frank Christ and escorting people to the distribution
center,
where they've got to take a number and wait your turn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like that. Number 2, Scary Movie.
Oh, we're counting from number 1 down.
I guess I'm doing it.
Okay.
It's just a list.
It's her first.
Scary Movie, a takeoff on all your scary movies, like Scream.
Mm-hmm.
All of the tropes that you see, and there's lots of scary movies. Are there 3 of them, I think?
How many scary movies are there?
5? Oh, there's 5 of them.
Maybe there was a lot.
Ghostbusters is number 3.
I'd say that's more of a comedy than it is a horror movie. I think it's a comedy that has
scary elements.
Scary is debatable.
You know what scary is? Dan Aykroyd's face.
Well, he swears that actually happened.
Does he?
He says he cuddled with a ghost. He's one of those guys. He's one of those, he believes in UFOs and ghosts.
Cuddle with a ghost guy? I don't know what kind of guy that is.
He claims that
Wait a minute. Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd claims that a ghost climbed into bed with him and cuddled him.
Before the movie came out, and that was the
He
inspiration?
didn't
or-
say when, but he said may have been a guy. I don't know.
A guy ghost.
I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. I don't know.
It wasn't
Because that's
either
what
of them.
important is if it's a guy ghost or a girl ghost, right?
It wasn't either of those.
No, it was not.
Shaun of the Dead is number 4 on their list.
That's a horror comedy.
There's scary zombie stuff in there.
There is?
But they take on each grueling creature at once, and it makes for a hilarious band.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this one. Freaky. It's Vince Vaughn and
Oh, yes.
Catherine Newton.
I saw this. Yes.
Is this so?
It's
He's
Freaky Friday.
But it's a serial killer and a teenager. Is that the?
Yeah. He's the serial killer, and she's the teenage cheerleader girl, and they swap bodies. So Vince Vaughn has to pretend like he's a
high school girl. And does she go out killing?
And she
people?
goes out killing people.
Oh.
It was a bloody movie.
It was okay.
Okay. That's 5. That's all they
See,
have
they-
on their list. What they miss?
This one of my favorite horror comedies, and it's constantly left off the list. It never gets the love that it truly deserves. Is a movie called The Frighteners. Michael J. Fox.
Katie agrees.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Like not just scary movie.
Not
one
just
of your
scary
favorite
movie. It's
movies.
one of my favorite movies. It's if it has to fit the category, so be it. But it's a terrific movie where Michael J. Fox had a traumatic event happen where he can see ghosts. He can see ghosts and talk with them.
And they're cuddling with him? Or
And so he's got 2 ghosts that work with him, and he pretends to be a paranormal investigator who can get rid of your ghosts.
So you send the ghosts ahead of time.
Send the ghosts ahead of time. He comes in with his magic whatever, and it's okay, that'll be $100. The ghost will no longer bother you. And he's not lying because they work with him.
Sure.
But why? But ghosts don't care about money. What do they get out of it?
I don't recall. I mean, what else are they going to do?
a quest,
A quest.
right? What are you doing that's so important in your life? Huh?
But what happens is that there's a serial killer who gets killed and figures out a way to keep killing. And he's out to break records.
From the afterlife?
From he started in life,
Yeah.
and then he decided to continue to try to break the record.
Ah.
There's this serial killer who got 25. I
Yeah.
can't remember the number exactly. And so this guy was carving the number into the foreheads of his victims.
Oh.
So, but they killed him. They put him down. But then he's figured out a way to come back and continue doing it. So Michael J. Fox has to stop this.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's a good premise. But even like in the same vein as Shaun of the Dead, I would imagine Hot Fuzz, while technically not paranormal, has some freakier scenes.
Cult stuff.
Yeah.
It's cult stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Drag Me to Hell. That's not
Is
a
there
comedy.
funny
Though.
stuff
That's
in it?
to me. That's not a comedy. That's a scary movie.
Well, somebody says, watch The Frighteners yesterday. Loved that movie. My 9-year-old was in the room and he thought it was a new movie. He was totally into it.
It's really good. You got John Astin in it as this old ghostly sheriff.
That makes sense.
And the Full Metal Jacket sergeant, Arlie Ermey. Because they go to the cemetery and all the ghosts are there, and they're talking to them. Arlie Ermey's ghost is there, yelling at them. It's a funny
I
and a
should
good
give
movie.
it I should give it a watch.
You really should. It's a good one.
You're not cuddling with him?
No, it's a different movie.
Very stuck on the fact that
Enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X90.
Brought to you by Mumford & Sons, coming to town with Good Neighbors June 14th at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater. You can secure your tickets now by going to x96.com.
Well, we know you're excited for the game to begin, and I wouldn't normally hold up the proceedings, but this commercial announcement is too important to postpone. I'm your announcer, Johnny L., with this message for you guys in the audience. Are you a man in name only?
Huh?
If you are weak in any way, try today Lassico for superb manhood. This is an old, reliable remedy for nervous disability, sexual weakness, failing memory, sleeplessness, and kidney troubles. Lassico. It's only $1 a box. So send for $5 for 6 boxes. That's what it is. Small size boxes, only 50 cents. Lassico is sold exclusively by the Hannah and Lay Mercantile Company, Drug Division, Traverse City, Michigan. If you don't believe me, so there it is at x96.com/live.
I see that. I just can't imagine what it is.
It's Lassico, an old, reliable remedy for nervous debility, sexual weakness, failing memory, sleeplessness, and I forget what else.
Man in name only.
Kidney troubles. That's what.
You're no man.
Yes. So order your Lassico today. I am tired now.
All right.
All right, it's time to play the game, and because Kerry Jackson, our fine MC, is not with us today, he's on sabbatical, I'll be taking the role of host.
You got extra jobs, Johnny. You can do it.
So we've got Carly with us, is that correct?
Carly, are you there?
Good morning.
Hi, Carly.
Carly, are you ready to play Beat Gina?
I'm ready.
All right. Somebody explain the rules. I'm too tired.
All right, Carly. What's going to happen is you're going to. I have a coin in my hand. You're going to guess heads or tails. If you get it right, you'll go first. If not, Gina will go first. And it's first to 3 wins, and you could win.
You could win tickets to see Mumford & Sons coming to town June 14th.
All right, Carly, call it heads or tails.
Tails.
Tails never fails. Carly goes first.
All right. Carly, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, now remember, if you get this wrong, Gene will have a chance to steal, so listen carefully. This is, by the way, these questions are all based around the movie Predator, and I believe the first one.
Okay.
Predator, all right?
Oh, great.
A favorite.
Yes. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's go with this question. What is the last thing, Carly, that the Predator does in the movie? Does it laugh? Does it scream? Does it say, I'm blowing this cheap popcorn stand, and then gives everybody the finger? Or it hisses?
I'm going to go with laugh.
You'd be correct. It laughs.
That's 1 point for Carly. And the next question's for Gina.
Okay.
All right, Gina.
I'm ready.
Where does the movie Predator take place?
Okay.
Is it 1, South America?
Okay.
Is it 2, a fictional Central American country called Valverde? Is it 3, Never Never Land? Or 4, Diarrhea Planet?
Thanks for bringing back
Sure.
Diarrhea Planet.
Listen, I bring back Diarrhea Planet at least 3 times a week.
Number 2.
A fictional Central American country called Valverde?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh, it is. I'm
It
sorry.
is correct.
I take that back.
Yes. So it's
That's
what's-
it's 1-1. You are tied, and it is now Carly's question.
All right, we'll go back to Carly. Carly, in the movie Predator, whose arm gets amputated? Whose arm gets amputated? Is it number 1, Dutch, number 2, Dylan, number 3, Lefty, or number 4, Stumpy?
I'm going to say number 1.
Dutch, no, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. Gina?
It would have to be number 2 then.
Dylan is
Yes.
correct. Yes, Dylan.
That's 2 points for Gina. That was a steal. It is now Gina's question.
Don't worry, Carly. Everything will be fine.
Let's see. Let's find a really good question.
Give me a
for-
hard one.
Let me see. These are all pretty easy, except for this one. Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. What is it that Dutch and his team originally go into the jungle to do?
Okay.
All right. Is it number 1, take as much ayahuasca as possible?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, everyone is going to meet Dutch's new chimpanzee bride, Coco. Is it number 3, take the fight to the natives?
Mm-hmm.
Or number 4, look for a crashed helicopter?
Look for a crashed helicopter.
That's correct, Gina. You win the game.
She does.
Simple as that.
Oh.
So sorry, Carly. I guess
Don't feel sorry for Carly.
I don't cry for Carly.
Don't cry for Carly. I beat her, but she seems like a nice person, and I like to give things to people who are nice. So I'm going to go ahead and give you these Mumford & Sons tickets, even though I beat you.
How about that?
All right.
Yay, thank you.
All right, Carly, hang on the line, and somebody will get your information.
Oh, listen, I've got to go. Mrs. Ola has just paged me. My new box of Lassico has come in. I've got to go home.
You already went through some, did you?
Well, I take it daily. I have to go home and be a man.
All right. Big boy news and opinioendo now, brought to you by
Shark Summer at Clark Planetarium has finally surfaced. See Shark Kingdom 3D on the giant IMAX screen. Snap a selfie with the 11-foot shark. Enjoy shark-themed snacks and gifts. It's all happening all summer long.
Frank Frazetta is a legendary comic book artist. His original cover art for Famous Funnies number 214 is available for the first time ever. This 1954 Buck Rogers illustration is widely considered one of the greatest comic book covers ever created.
Oh, okay.
And it's already commanding a price tag, of $432,000.
Wow.
But that the bidding is still open at Heritage Auctions. The artwork, which Frazetta kept in his personal collection throughout his lifetime, represents the pinnacle of his pen and ink style. I don't think we have a picture of it, but it is beautiful. You see it. As the auction description notes, the price comes from the series of 8 Buck Rogers covers that Frank Frazetta created for Famous Funnies from 1953 to 1955. It's amazing. It's so long ago that these were done. And I'm not trying to see here. I'm sure Frank Frazetta is no longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when he died.
He can't spend his $400,000.
Well, let's see. An Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed shortly after takeoff today. Thick plumes of black smoke were seen over the airport in video taken by bystanders. 242 passengers and crew members were on board the flight heading to London's Gatwick Airport.
I think it was only in the air like a minute.
Yeah.
It happened right after takeoff.
The plane crashed into a building housing medical students, according to local media. Aftermath from the scene showed billowing smoke and firefighters on charred streets. Air India confirmed the flight was involved in the accident after takeoff. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the tragedy heartbreaking beyond words. I'm thinking there were no survivors. And probably other people on the ground were also killed in that horrible, horrible accident. Let's see. There have been protests against the Trump administration all across the country. This weekend, it's Utah's turn. A wave of protests erupted across the country after immigration sweeps were conducted in L.A. Despite several emergency protests, Utahns are gearing up for more protests this weekend. Salt Lake City is having multiple on Saturday, one at Pioneer Park. Brent Weisberg, spokesperson for the Salt Lake City Police Department, said there's no indication so far that things have a violent turn to them. Out of an abundance of...
Yeah. And they if you keep it...
It's been peaceful so far.
Yeah, if you keep it peaceful, it's more effective. If you give them an excuse to have a big response,
then they go, see?
Yeah, so you can protest, just don't break things and set them on fire.
Brent Weisberg, who is a spokesperson for the Salt Lake City Police Department, said there's no indication that things will turn violent, but out of an abundance of caution, we are taking proactive efforts to make sure that we have enough resources to maintain the operational readiness of the Salt Lake City Police Department. The President of the United States can undo national monuments, according to a new opinion from the Department of Justice. While environmentalists say that the move could endanger protected land across the country, including Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante National Monuments, the opinion released by the Department of Justice Tuesday goes against a 1938 opinion from then Attorney General Homer Cummings, who served under President Roosevelt. The Trump administration's lawyers wrote that Cummings' opinion has long been cited as a reason for treating the declaration of a monument under the Antiquities Act as irrevocable. The Antiquities Act of 1906 authorizes presidents to designate national monuments which protect objects of historic or scientific or cultural interest. Bill Clinton used it to create the Grand Staircase. Barack Obama established the Bears Ears after a national monument. But the Trump administration attorneys wrote, "We think the president can and we should overturn those." But there's still a question as whether they can do it. So I'm sure it'll be tied up in court for a long time.
Everything's in court.
An American Forkman and his friend are grateful to be back on dry land. Devin Tobler said a windy day created choppy waters and dangerous conditions for them on their sailboat out on Utah Lake. Wind in a sailboat? Well, that's perfect. But Utah Lake is tricky because it's shallow. So the chops get thick and the lips get high.
Was this yesterday?
Yeah.
It did get windy out of nowhere yesterday.
Tobler and his friend left American Fork Harbor at 2 p.m. It was several hours later, upon returning to pick up a friend, that the lake conditions made a turn for the worse. And anyway, they got overturned and into the water. Tobler stayed on the boat long enough to call 911 before it went down, and they hung on to the boat, and they were rescued and pulled out of the water, and everything's fine. Organizers with the No Kings movement are planning some 1,500 demonstrations all across the country to protest the upcoming military parade on Sunday. Or Saturday is when the parade is. One notable location, however, is missing, Washington, D.C., where the military parade will take place. Protest organizers have framed the move as a rejection of the spectacle. No, we're not going to protest there.
Oh, okay.
We're just going to ignore it. And, I think the major news they've said they're not going to really cover it.
They're
much.
going to not interrupt programming for it. They're, Saturdays there's a bunch of sports and things that they already have programmed, and they're going to, I think ABC was going to run something and Fox was, but everybody else is not going to be showing it live.
Here's what I was telling you earlier. Over 3/4 of the Senate Republican Conference has told Scripps News that they will not attend the military parade in Washington. Scripps reached out to all 52 Republican senators. 41 of them said, "No, I don't plan on being in town for that event." 9 others have declined to comment. At least 2 more say they are still undecided. So far, only one Republican senator, Senator Roger Marshall from Kansas, has confirmed that he will attend the parade. Oh, and I heard this morning, I don't have it in front of me, but Donald Trump traditionally there's a picnic at the White House. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump has, you're supposed to invite everybody, Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump has told, what's his name?
Rand Paul.
You're not invited. You can't come.
Because he's saying he's voting against the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah, you can't come. Sorry. Sad news from Karen from the most west of Wendover. I just got this email from Karen. It says, "Hi, Bill. Hope things are well. I was wondering if you had heard about this. Jim, the 70-plus-year-old owner of Grove Market, has died of a stroke. This was last month. It's very sad." Karen said he was a friend of my brother and sister who owned the vacuum store.
Oh, she's talked about the vacuum.
Yeah. So this just a little note from Karen, and sorry to hear that. Jim. I don't know. I wish I knew his last name. I'll find it. Donald Trump says he could have been a flautist. He revealed he was a talented musician as a child.
No, you weren't.
And excelled at playing the flute.
No, you weren't.
In a wide-ranging interview for the Pod Force One podcast, Trump said that he had a gift for music from an early age, and he could have been a flutist. Mm-hmm. I had flute lessons. This is
he may have had flute lessons.
No,
I was going to say.
I think it was a flute. It was some sort of thing that I blew on.
Yeah.
This is the first person who's ever asked me that question. Can you believe it? I could have been a flutist.
Could have been a flutist, or it was some wind thing.
Somebody hand him a flute. Now I'm curious.
I didn't particularly like it. It wasn't for me, he said. He said that when he was aged 11 or 12, his mother and father took him for an aptitude test. They came because they thought
Person, man, woman.
Well, probably because they thought he was feeble. They came up to my father and they said, your son is brilliant at music. He'd be an incredible musician. That's not what my father wanted to hear. This was not the greatest thing, But I have an ear for music. People like the music I play. So
YMCA?
Except for the artists.
Well, I don't know if he means just records or he says the music I play. Does he play an instrument for people?
No, he means at his rallies.
Yeah. And then the artists complain that he's playing their music.
And finally this. On 400 East in Manti, Utah, there's what looks like a normal house from the front. But in the backyard, there's something iconic that you would not expect. The Ratfink Museum. And this, you know what Ratfink is, right?
No.
You don't?
What's Ratfink?
Oh, do we have a picture of Ratfink?
I don't know.
The Ratfink, so this June weekend, it's the Ratfink reunion. All are based around a hand-drawn character of a green, gritty rat that, if you saw a picture of Ratfink,
I would
you'd know.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Ratfink was created in the 50s by Ed Big Daddy Roth. And his Ratfink character, they've been custom culture icons. And they're particularly associated with custom cars and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
Roth passed away in 2001, but his legacy lives on in the backyard of his Manti home. Now, he's originally a West Coast guy.
Oh, somebody found it x96.com/.
There is a Ratfink. And they're all different different kinds and iterations of them.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
x96.com/live. We got a green one.
Yeah. But he moved to Manti, and that's where he retired, and where he said Manti was a quiet place. He could get away and get into his mad scientist garage and have peace and quiet, said Cody Braithwaite, his son. He loved our mama so much, and he'd ask her, will you please help me keep this dream alive? And I know he's really happy with all the love and energy she puts into it. So his wife is still there, and she has curated this Ratfink Museum. And every year, people come from around the world to Manti, Utah, for the Ratfink reunion. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's open to the public. The museum is open to the public year-round when Trixie is in town. The hours are Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Oh, you don't need to know that.
You can look it up if you're interested.
Ratfink reunion. All right, that's it.
All right, sports, weather, traffic?
This you can put up my sports picture I gave you, a producer's booth. You can take the guy out of the south side, but you can't take the south side out of the guy because Pope Leo was spotted repping his White Sox at the Vatican. The pontiff ditched his traditional Pope hat. It's a funny hat that the Pope wears, for a black ball cap during the General Assembly in Rome this week, giving a wide grin as he showed support for his local baseball team. You can go to x96.com/live to see that. Maybe word hasn't made its way to Leo. The Sox stink right now with a 23-44 record. Either that or he's still keeping the faith.
He's a fan.
He is a fan. The NBA, let's see, we had last night Indiana Pacers over Oklahoma City Thunder, 116-107. Indiana leads the series 2-1. They play next tomorrow at 6:30. Stanley Cup Finals going on today. Oilers and Panthers at 6. Florida leads that series 2-1. That's your sports weather. We're just hot. Yesterday, like Bill was talking about the wind, and there were some clouds and even a little thunderstorm here and there. None of that. We are just sunny with no rain in sight for the next, I'm looking all the way into Monday. 93 today, 94 tomorrow. We get up to almost 100 by Father's Day, it looks like. That is your pattern there. And our friend from Fastenal wants me to remind you again, they're moving from Salt Lake City to Magna, several semis on the road all day between Salt Lake and Magna. No particular order. So just be aware that that's going to probably be an issue for your traffic today. We've got a crash northbound I-15 American Fork, left lane closed at milepost 277. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 313, I-15 215 junction in Davis County. And as always, you can text us and let us know what you're seeing on the roads, and I'm happy to pass it along. 33986. Oh, here's one that just came in. Multiple vehicle accident eastbound 78 South near Jordan Landing. Thank you for sending that in, Infiniteam. Haster Games for board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice paints, and more. Haster Games, 6831 South State or HasterGames.com.
All right, just after these messages, Robert Gerke is going to be here with our Salt Lake update. So.
Don't call this day drinking. This is refined. This is special. Cheers, everybody. Don't call this day drinking. This is refined. This is special. Cheers, everybody. Don't call this day drinking. This is refined. This is special. Cheers, everybody. Don't call this day drinking. This is refined. This is special. Cheers, everybody. Don't call this day drinking. This is refined. This is special. Cheers, everybody. Don't call this day drinking. This is refined. This is special. Cheers, everybody.
Six.
8:47, and we are back with our good friend Robert Gerke.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, Bill.
Robert Gerke, of course, columnist and writer for a reporter for the Salt Lake Tribune.
Indeed.
sltrib.com. You had an actual sit down with the governor.
Well,
He was standing up.
the governor was standing. The governor does these monthly news conferences, and you know, sometimes they're kind of sleepy. This time he felt like he was going to make some news, I guess, and so we asked him about, you know, Salt Lake City had their Juneteenth flag raising with their new, you know, modified
Their new
Juneteenth
dumb flag. It was a dumb flag.
And I sort of asked a innocuous question, I thought, and his response was pretty. How
did you frame the
He
question?
got triggered. Well, I just asked what he thought of Salt Lake City's, because obviously Salt Lake City adopted these flags to get around this pride flag
Sure.
ban, right? and they adopted the Pride one, the transgender one, and the Juneteenth one with the little seagull lily on it. And I asked him what he thought about Salt Lake City doing that, and he thought they're dumb. He said they're dumb, and I'm like, what's dumb? Salt Lake City's dumb. The flags are dumb. He's like, they're dumb. It's all dumb. The flags are dumb. The bill is dumb, which surprised me because he took a little heat from the right after that by saying that the bill is dumb because they thought he was sort of should have vetoed it if he didn't like it.
Yeah,
but
if it was dumb, why did he do it?
Well,
why didn't he do it?
Well, we've asked him that before. He said that the legislature, if he had vetoed it, the legislature would have overridden his veto, and so. The flags are dumb. The bill's dumb. The whole thing's dumb. He says we live in the dumbest possible timeline.
I mean, I agree with that. I agree with him.
And I was talking to my buddy Adam the other night. Hey Adam, and it's like, well, why doesn't he do something about it? You guys used to have Spencer on fairly regularly.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the lieutenant governor.
He was pretty reasonable,
and he would say, but when he was lieutenant governor, and what he said didn't really matter that much. I think he was more willing to say things, and he didn't have to follow through on them. Now he's sort of worried about the politics of everything, and he's got to tread lightly on a lot of this stuff. He talked about the protests in L.A. at this press conference, and he said that for this weekend's protests that are coming up, Salt Lake or Utah is going to be prepared in case there's any violence. If there is any violence, he says we're going to respond and put it down and arrest the people responsible and hold them accountable. So he's taking a pretty hard line there.
It was interesting what Governor Herbert said about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, when he talked about how it's fundamental right to people to protest,
and he said as a governor, I would have been upset that I was not involved in the process like the governor should.
Calling up the National Guard.
Yeah. Well, and it's 1965 was the last time that the president deployed National Guard troops without a request from a governor, and Governor Cox said, he kind of poked a little bit at that. He said, the president has the right to do that under the Constitution, but I don't necessarily like that, and it's kind of indicated that had he been in that situation, he might not have liked it either. But he does support the president for doing it. He says, we need to restore order, and it's good to have a president who'll do it. Obviously, there's a different point of view on that from Gavin Newsom and others who are saying that we don't need them here. It's not, it's not the chaos that. They have this protest zone in LA that is, that's where the protests are. That's what it's for. And the rest of the town or the rest of the city's in reasonably good shape.
Let's talk a little bit about this. This was in the Trib today when Spencer Cox signed a ban on gender-affirming medical care for transgender youth. He described the bill as just pausing treatments until more and better research can help determine the long-term consequences.
Yeah, this was another question I asked him because when they passed the bill, they said, we're going to just push pause. That's how they've couched it. They were going to have a moratorium because they wanted to go out and get the best possible data. They didn't trust the data that was already out there. They wanted to get their own data. And so, the thinking was that it would come back and say, validate whatever preconceived position that they had. It didn't, actually. Yeah. After 2.5 years, this report comes back and says, no, actually, gender affirming care is
positive outcomes,
almost always beneficial for the people who are receiving it. And so we asked him, okay, do we need to revisit this issue now? And he says, no, we're in a pretty good spot. I think if we look at where other states are, we're in a good spot. So, it kind of is a tell. It gives lie to the entire concept.
This is he really gives it away when he says this. This is a direct quote in the Tribune. There doesn't seem to be an appetite to redress that bill.
Right.
I think things have shifted significantly over the past couple of years. So what he's saying is that it would not be politically expedient.
I was just going to say things have shifted politically, and things have not shifted from a medical health care standpoint. And in fact, if this report is any indication, they've actually shifted the other way. So it's an acknowledgement, a recognition that even though science and medicine point in one direction, we're going to go in the other direction because it's a political calculus.
I guess I feel in some respects a little sorry for Spencer Cox, and I've said this before. The last thing he ever said to me, it was on a bus in Mexico, believe it or not.
I want to hear this story.
It's true.
Okay.
And it was on a bus at an airport. We're going to to be put on a plane, and I saw him and his
This
wife.
was years ago.
A couple of years ago.
Mhm.
And I said, Spencer! And he, hey, Bill! And he came over and we talked, and he told me how much, he said, oh, we just love Puerto Vallarta. And I said, we've been pretty hard on you on the radio. And he said, yeah, I know. And he said, we should have lunch and talk about these things. And I said, well, okay. And I said, but I just don't understand. And he said, well, it's really hard to be a member of my party right now.
Yeah.
And
I think that explains a lot.
I think he's just has.
I don't give him a pass.
No,
but
I don't
think it
either.
explains a lot.
But I suspect he has to. He's wrestling with this stuff all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he's a leader of the party, and so he could lead the party in a direction that he wants it to go.
That's what I want. I want someone to be willing to do that.
And
Stand by their convictions.
But if he stepped up and tried to do that, he would be out.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got to walk the line. I mean, we saw with his last election, he got 55-60% in that primary.
But he gets booed at the convention.
But he gets booed at convention. He doesn't go if he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And so I think it is an uncomfortable fit for him. But especially on these transgender issues, when he was lieutenant governor, I think we all remember him sitting out in the hallway, meeting, talking to these kids.
And I believe that was genuinely him. I believe that was him.
Yeah, and so we've seen an evolution, I guess, or devolution on his part on those issues, a change if nothing else. And
Yeah.
so and that's where we are now. And so I think to his point, I don't think that the legislature has any appetite to address this issue,
they don't.
and so
No.
we are where we are on this.
Yeah, because they just don't want to provide affirmative care for transgender people, and they want to make sure that they just are put aside and out of sight, and they don't want to have anything to do with them, because we all know that if they let them out, they will start committing crimes.
What?
I saw Dog Day afternoon.
What?
They do dress it up as like we're protecting these kids from themselves in some way, and I think it's sort of a disingenuous. By the way, happy 39th birthday to you all.
thank
I'm
you.
sorry I
Thank
wasn't
you.
there for it,
Thank
but
you.
happy birthday belatedly. So
Thanks. That was it's 39. It's not 39 years of Radio from Hell. It's 39 years that Carrie and I started working together.
Yeah.
And then we morphed into Radio from Hell.
It's a heck of an achievement, really. So congratulations. You've
it's-
done a lot for this town and this state.
It makes me tired.
Well, it's early mornings
Yeah.
for sure.
How long have you been a reporter for the Trib?
I've been at the Tribune for 21 years. I've been a reporter for 20.
And Sean Means has been like
He's one of the
close to 30
he's
or-
one of a few that's been there longer than me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat Bagley, Sean Means, Peggy Stack.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're a bunch of idiots and rabble rousers.
We're going to keep doing it as
Yeah.
long as we can.
Thank you, Robert Gerke,
Thank you, guys.
columnist for the Salt Lake Tribune. You can read his stuff. He's got a piece coming out. Is it out today?
It'll be coming out today. Yeah, they're talking about moving this anti-union referendum from 2026 to 2025. It turns out a lot of the representatives who voted for it don't necessarily want to be up for re-election with that on the ballot too. So they might move. So they're looking at moving it to 2025. No decisions yet. The governor says he's got till the 21st of this month to decide.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Robert.
Take care.
It's weather traffic.
Weather is hot.
Oh, sports weather traffic. Nope.
No,
Just weather traffic.
It's just
Something goes here.
Something goes here. Crash eastbound I-80. This is a mile east of the quarry, milepost 132. Crash northbound I-15 at American Fork, milepost 277. Crash southbound I-15 at the I-15-215 junction in Davis County. Friend of the program says multiple vehicle accident eastbound 78 south near Jordan Landing. And whatever you're seeing, you can text us 33986. Experience the Utah Arts Festival June 19th through the 22nd at Library Square, featuring legendary performers including Leftover Salmon, Robert Randolph, Souls of Mischief, Grammy nominee MV Caldera. Get tickets at uaf.org.
All right, coming up after these messages and a song, it is the Boner Recap. And, of course, you can go on x96.com/live and cheat if you want to. But call 877-602-9696 and play the Boner Recap. You could win Morrissey tickets. Yeah, you could win Morrissey tickets. So 877-602-9696 to call for the Boner Recap if you heard it. If not, you can go cheat. Coming up after these, Renaissance Ranch.
You know, if you struggle with drugs, addiction to drugs or alcohol, it's just I mean, sometimes it feels like you're just at the bottom of a well. But there is help. There is somebody can pull you out of there, and it's Renaissance Ranch. They're a local family-owned addiction treatment center, and the Renaissance Ranch program is, well, it's rated as one of the top programs in the country, and it started right here in Utah. Renaissance Ranch offers residential and outpatient services, which is just excellent, and they also have a staff of, the staff is recovering addicts. They understand where you're at right now. Yeah, they understand the problems that you are having, and they can really help you. I've talked to a bunch of those guys before, and they're just really great. Now, this program is designed for male patients specifically at Renaissance Ranch. You can go to renaissanceranch.com for more information and get the help you need, damn it. renaissanceranch.com. They do accept most private insurance and Medicare. I want to know how you're feeling, Gina. Are you okay? Because you drank some caffeine.
Well, so we had the donut critic on today who brought in these new caffeinated protein drinks.
Well, they're chocolate milk.
Which are, and they're super tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was part of the problem.
Well, now what he said is that the regular ones are a caffeine equivalent to a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And then there's this one that is 2 cups.
I didn't have that one.
You didn't have this one.
I had the 1 cup, but my heart's going blah, 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 blah.
From that one can.
Well, but see, I already had a coffee this morning.
I was going to say, because you stop for coffee every morning.
And a Diet Coke. This is almost gone.
And she has a Diet Coke.
I had these previously.
Gina,
I think that was not a good move.
Gina, I had a Coke Zero this morning.
Uh-huh.
Then I've been working on my coffee, my Mill Creek coffee here, and then I drank one of these as well. These things that he brought in that are caffeinated, and you know what? I could take a nap right now. I mean, I'm fine.
I'm tired all the time.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. I'm just tired all the time.
I'm tired.
You poor thing.
I mean, I'm kind of feeling it. I can feel it right about here.
But you've had, how much coffee have you had this morning?
Well, this morning when I get up, I had, I'm not quite sure how to describe it. The stuff I put in my water that's supposed to wake me up and invigorate me.
But that's caffeine, isn't it?
I don't know if it has caffeine in it or not. It's got some sort of vitamins of some kind in it. And then I have my Mill Creek coffee, Guatemalan today, and then I had this just now, strawberry milk with caffeine. And like I said, I wasn't feeling it until a few moments ago, and now my eye started to twitch.
You got a twitch?
Oh, I forgot to mention, on top of all of this stuff that I've had, I take a Provigil every morning.
Oh yeah,
which is which is like airline pilots' wake-up pills.
Special trucker aspirin.
And you're still fine.
Yeah,
You're still.
Yeah, I could drink a pot of coffee and go to bed at night.
Tired all the time. Because I'm tired all of the time. And my pants are heavy.
I'm just a poor little heavy-panted, tired boy. Yeah, I'm sorry that it affected you that way because these are delicious.
They are tasty.
I know what it was. You see, I drank the vanilla flavor, and you drank the chocolate flavor.
I had strawberry.
And you had strawberry. I think the vanilla flavor, even though they all have vanilla.
No naps for me.
Do you take a nap?
Yes.
Of course she does.
I almost never take a nap. I have to be exhausted before I'll take a nap.
You stop by Beto's on the way home. You eat under the overpass.
I have my systems.
And then you go home and nap.
Are you regular?
Yes.
Oh,
In fact,
good.
I gotta go. Right,
Do you ever
'cause
fall?
I got another thing going.
Do you ever fall asleep in the car?
Yes.
All right.
While you're driving? Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
How long was that?
Carl in Holiday says, Knights Reb.
Yeah.
How come you're playing them? Well, it's kind of a sad reason.
Sad reason on this day.
On this day. Well, yesterday, Douglas McCarthy, the irrepressible frontman and chief lyricist of British industrial band Knights Reb, has died at the age of 58. It's with a heavy heart we regret to inform that Douglas has passed away this morning, June 11th. No cause of death given.
How old was he?
58.
Oh, he's young.
Speaking of dying, I had forgotten completely. Brian Wilson, who died at the age of, 83?
Not sure.
He's on my Deadpool.
Yeah, you gained points yesterday.
Points.
I totally forgot that he's on my Deadpool.
I remember Frank Chris posting about this. I saw it when it popped up.
You got 18 points,
yeah,
Bill.
which puts you in the lead for this year. But so far, everybody else I think has 0.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
we're halfway through the year, and so far only one person has points.
You forgot that he was on
Yeah,
there?
well, I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
That's why I pick people I hate for mine.
There are people on my Deadpool that I dislike, but he's not one of them.
Amen.
Yeah.
There are some hopes on mine. Anyways, Boner recap time.
I hate Julie Andrews. I can't stand her.
Oh. No, I'm just kidding. Time for the Boner recap.
Yes, indeed, it is. Who do we have to play the game?
We have Otto.
Otto, are you there?
Hi. I am here.
Now, Otto is not your real name.
No, that's my preferred name.
Is it short for something?
No.
No,
I just like it.
You just like, so it's OTTO?
Yes.
Okay.
I like it.
No story behind it at all that you can share?
No, my username is Autopilot, if that helps anything.
Well, that does a little bit, yeah. But not much.
Otto is interested in winning Morrissey tickets.
Well,
I think,
I'm interested
correct?
in Otto's, finding out about
I think
Otto's
Otto
name.
has told you all Otto wants to tell you about Otto's name.
Is that all you're going to tell me about your name, Otto?
Yeah, I just liked it.
You just like it. How long have you been Otto? I'm digging
He's
something
going
out
to
of
keep
here.
going.
How long have you been Otto?
It's 5 years.
Okay. Now, do you not share your real name at all anymore?
I prefer not to, but it's still legally Ashlyn.
Yeah. Oh, you did. So you did. I didn't mean for you to say it if you didn't want to, but there it is.
You bullied Otto, Bill.
I did.
You owe Otto an apology.
I owe Otto a prize.
How about Morrissey tickets?
Yeah. Do you like Morrissey, Otto?
I love Morrissey.
Yeah.
I love the Smiths.
Yeah, it's great. Morrissey and the Smiths were an acquired taste for me. I didn't quite like them at first, and then I started listening more and more, and I went,
You
okay, I
appreciate
get it.
them in a new way.
So, Otto, I'm going to read the 3 boner candidates that we had. You tell me which one was the winner, and you will get the Morrissey tickets. I'm sure you'll be able to do it. You listened earlier, and
Yay.
you heard them, didn't you?
I did not hear them, but I heard who won.
That's all you
I was
need,
late
really.
waking up this morning.
Okay, good. All right, Otto, boner candidate number 1 was now you will have 20 years' worth of orgasms in prison. The founder and the sales chief of an orgasmic meditation company have been convicted by a jury of coercing members into degrading work at their cult-like wellness group. Jurors deliberated and said now the two face up to 20 years in prison when they are sentenced. That's pretty good. That they get 20 years of orgasms in prison. Boner candidate number 2: is this the play about the barber who kills people? Vice President J.D. Vance wanted to make it very clear he had no idea what Les Mis was about, the play he was about to see with his wife and Donald Trump. And so he said, is this about the barber who kills people? He thinks
He
he's
knew
being
exactly
funny.
what it was.
Yeah, he thinks he's being funny. And then boner candidate number 3, he loosed his raccoon into the Big Apple Bar and Grill. Yes, a man who apparently was angry with people at the Big Apple Bar and Grill. He says, I'll show him. I got a raccoon, and I'm going to let him loose in there. The raccoon bit somebody, as a matter of fact. So this guy, Jonathan Mason, nothing but trouble in Murray, Kentucky. So there you go, 3 boner candidates, Otto. The winner was?
Number 2.
Yep.
JD.
It's always pleasant to say, Otto, you're a winner.
You've got tickets to see Morrissey October 4th at the Union. There are still tickets available for sale, but it will sell out. So if you are interested in going, I would get them quickly. There are ticket links at x96.com. But Otto doesn't need to do that. You just need to give your information to Ari, I think.
Yep.
We'll get you your tickets.
Hang on the line, Otto.
Thanks. All right. Tired?
Yeah. I found that film that I was talking about earlier, that scared me so much, the anti-nuclear short film that was played on television. I found it. It's called A Short Vision. It was done in 1956. I always thought it was in black and white.
No, it's color.
I know it's color, but why do you think I thought it was in black and white? Because I had a black and white TV.
Oh, that would make sense.
When I was a little kid.
Okay.
Had a black and white TV. So there you go.
All right. Coming up after these messages, we're going to have some big boy news and a Pinuendo, and then other things on the way. So hang on.
Thanks, Katie.
986.
19, it just flipped over, and it's time for Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Tired of paying too much for concerts? Experience great live music and enjoy adult beverages without paying stupid prices at Salt Lake's coolest venues. Don't miss the Kooks with Lovely the Band this Friday at the Commonwealth Room. Get tickets at thestateroompresents.com.
Who's that journal?
Oh, wrong one. My goodness.
It's the news.
Nancy, I'm sure you're all really relieved that Nancy Wilson from Heart.
Yes.
You're relieved that her two of her stolen, irreplaceable instruments have been recovered.
I have been up nights, worried, sick.
I know it. Me too. According to the AP, police in Atlantic City said they'd recovered the purple baritone Telecaster guitar with a hand-painted headstock belonging to Nancy Wilson. Got it from a woman who bought it from the suspected thief.
Oh.
Detective said surveillance video showed the suspect handing the Telecaster over to the woman who put the instrument in her car, which was parked several blocks away from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, where Hart had been scheduled to perform. Police employed automatic license plate readers, identified the vehicle, tracked it to the location to find the woman who voluntarily surrendered the guitar, Garfield Bennett, the 57-year-old Pleasantville, New Jersey man she bought it from for an undisclosed amount of money, has been charged with burglary and theft. The guitar, there's another one that's still missing, however. It's not been recovered. So thank God at least
So I
part
still
of
have to
Nancy's...
I'm going to be up nights worrying about it.
Well, her long nightmare is almost over, I think. A few years ago, Billy Idol discovered that he had a son named Brant.
Brant Idol?
Brant, B-R-A-N-T. In a new documentary, Idol and his other children explain how they found out there was another member of the family. The punk icon explained that he unknowingly fathered Brant while on his 1985 Rebel Yell tour.
You need protection so that doesn't happen, Billy Idol.
Listen, I had protection. I'm just Billy Idol.
it finds its way.
Listen, Billy Idol will find... life will find a way with this Billy Idol
You know what
stuff.
Billy Idol's real name is?
I don't.
William Michael Albert Broad. Huh. So he's Brant Broad?
I guess. Idol and his
great.
other children are... let's see, he says in the new doc, Billy Idol should be dead, which just premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival. As Far Out reports, Idol's daughter, Bonnie, took a 23andMe DNA test, which led her to finding out about Brand.
Oh, okay.
My husband just surprised me with a 23andMe with a DNA test as a Christmas present, explained Bonnie. And then a few weeks later, I got the results back on the app, opened it up, and I'm like, who's this? Who's this Brant? And it says his info's like New York, 1985, looking for my dad's bio, and I was like, what? Until then, Bonnie and her half-brother Willem, had no idea that they had another sibling, with Idol himself admitting in the documentary, I actually had a son that I didn't realize who I fathered on the Rebel Yell tour without knowing it. Brant was also interviewed in the film saying, I was like, Mom, is there a chance that Mark might not be my biological father?
You mean my dad could be either Mark or Billy Idol?
And she's
Should
like,
I pick Billy Idol?
Well, it's pretty crazy, but back in the day, we broke up, and your dad and I broke up, and I spent a weekend with Billy Idol.
What about poor Mark, who's been raising Billy's kid this
Well, he's
whole
still
time?
there. He's still fine. It's fine.
And Billy owes him some money.
Idol has welcomed Brand into his life in recent years, sharing backstage photos with him on Instagram. Here, welcome into my life. Here's a picture. Brand also attended the rock icon's Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony. And
I need a picture. Does he look like Billy Idol?
I don't know. Paul McCartney says that Brian Wilson's song God Only Knows is the greatest song ever written. That quote comes from Charles Granta's 2003 book, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Brian Wilson and the Making of the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. McCartney reiterated his affection for the song in 2007 interview, where he discussed why God Only Knows means so much to him. It's one of the few songs that reduces me to tears every time I hear it. It's really just a love song, but it's just brilliantly done. It shows the genius of Brian. McCartney has long discussed the impact of coming up with the Beatles, as Wilson and his band broke sonic and conceptual boundaries, Brian Wilson just sort of proved himself to be a really amazing composer. I was into chords and harmonies and stuff like that at the time, and we ended up with kind of like a rivalry. We would put out a song, and then Brian would hear it, and he'd do one, and which is nice, you know. It's like me and John, you know. You would try, and you'd top each other all the time. It was a terrific and exciting time for them, and this documentary is really interesting. Jack Black is going to receive the King of Comedy Award at the 2025 Kids' Choice Awards. So kids think he's the king of comedy.
I see that. Kids love Jack Black. Gosh,
He's been through multiple generations of being the funniest man.
Like School of Rock. There's the School of Rock generation. And,
Kung Fu Panda, all that kind of stuff.
In a story that sounds out of a heavy metal fever dream, a Tampa-based musician known as Prince Midnight has turned the skeleton of his deceased uncle into a fully functional guitar.
What?
Yes, it's exactly as wild as it sounds. The unusual tribute, a guitar now called the Skelecaster.
Do we have a picture?
I think there was a picture with the story. I don't know if we have it.
We'll see.
It went viral after multiple news outlets picked it up in February of 2021. Story originally reported by CBS Radio's As It Happens. Prince Midnight introduced his creation on Instagram, said the idea came from a deep desire to honor his Uncle Philip.
Would
tragically
Uncle Philip be okay with this?
He tragically died in a motorcycle. Philip died in a motorcycle accident, Jeannie. He has nothing to say in the matter. Philip's skeleton had been donated to a medical school where it was used in anatomy classes for several years. But when the school no longer needed the remains and Philip's parents had passed, the responsibility of the bones fell to Midnight's mother. In keeping with their Greek Orthodox beliefs, cremation was not an option. The family was left with two choices.
Wait a minute. So you're going to honor your Greek Orthodox beliefs?
Yeah, well, no.
And part of that is okay to...
So the family was left with two choices. Continue paying for storage or purchase a burial plot. That's when Prince Midnight stepped in. She didn't want to pay for that anymore, and I was like, well, I'll take care of it. And he had to go through a bunch of red tape, but he managed to get his uncle's remains shipped to Florida, and he turned his uncle's skeleton into a guitar.
So I found a picture of it. It's like from the rib cage to the pelvis.
Pretty ratty looking.
So the strings are going down the spine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
I feel like that'd be really uncomfortable to hold, too.
Kind of looks like it. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. We have a picture at x96.com/live.
Oh, thank goodness there's a whole picture of Prince Midnight, too. He's a peach, isn't he?
Lovely.
I don't think we're... No. Here's another story that'll make you kind of go, what? A villager...
Okay,
a villager ruined more than $10,000 worth of Spam and Vienna sausages by urinating on pallets of the products at Sam's Club.
Gross.
Patrick Francis Mitchell, who lives in the village of Piedmont.
Is this a British story?
So he's a villager. You know, of course, it doesn't really. It'll say eventually.
British.
It's going to be at the very end of the article.
He was arrested by the Marion County. Winthrop Lake County. It's a Sam's Club. Where in the hell is this?
There are villages in the United States.
Yes, there are.
Lake County. There's multiple different ones.
Yes, of course there is. A woman was in Sam's Club in Lady Lake.
That's Florida.
There you go.
Probably. On the morning of May 30th, when the lady spotted Mitchell urinating in aisle 18. We have some urinating in aisle 18. The woman used her cell phone to take a photo of Mr. Mitchell, which she showed to in-store employees.
See, he's urinating.
Sam Clubs reviewed the surveillance footage, which clearly showed that Mitchell walked up to two pallets, faced the shelf, placed both hands in front of him below the belt line, and stood there for several seconds. Managers inspected the damage to the 188 units of 18-count Vienna sausages and the 345 units of 8-count Spam Classic. They concluded that because the products had been contaminated with bodily fluid, they would need to be thrown out. Well, I mean, they could just wash them off. They weren't open.
Are you going to take them?
I won't.
Well, if it's heavily discounted, I might.
If it's heavily discounted.
Yeah. I might. I don't know. The Rolling Stones, you know those guys.
I'm aware of them, yes.
Mick Jagger and I don't know who else is alive still.
Everybody except Charlie.
The news of a potential new record, a new album. They're working on a new album, and they say they will go on tour to support it.
They don't have to do that anymore, but
it featured the last recordings of their late drummer Charlie Watts and guest appearances: Lady Gaga, Elton John, Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
Oh, this is yeah. So then they say they're going to go on tour. Okay, if you can do it, do it. All right, that's it.
Any weather?
Yeah, it's already 79.
Oh, man.
Not even 10 o'clock yet. 93 expected for a high today, overnight low 64, and we stay in the mid to upper 90s. I'm looking all the way past Father's Day into the first part of next week. Don't see any change in sight. Those little storms we had yesterday kind of popping up. Doesn't look like we're going to have any of that going on. So
yeah, it's a pool day for me.
It's hot, hot, hot.
All right.
I'll bring my floaty.
Okay, good deal.
My pool noodle.
Good plan. All right.
have one at the ready.
More coming up after this. 9:35, just about to flip over, and we have some guests in the studio.
This is exciting stuff. This is we've been running some ads here about this criterium. It's the Salt Lake Criterium, and I'm going to let Eric Gardner, who's the race organizer, and there's a champion racer. You're kind of a big deal, I guess. Riley, are you?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say that, but
Riley McMullen, who's one of the racers. First of all, Eric, describe for people what a criterium is.
A criterium, a lot of people compare it to NASCAR on bikes. You're
Oh,
going, around a city block. A lot of the professionals are going 30 plus miles an hour, and they're racing for about 70 minutes.
70 minutes, and now you don't think why is that exciting? You're just going around in a circle. It's dangerous, isn't it, Riley?
yeah, it is dangerous if you put like close to 100 riders on the start line and everyone's trying to go around the corner at the same time. It's pretty dangerous.
So the first gun, usually several people go down, don't they?
Yeah. There's usually a few crashes.
Now, can you get back up, and if your bike's okay, just keep going, or can you substitute bikes?
Yeah, so until 5 laps to go, generally you can take a free lap out and change bikes or get it fixed.
How many riders will start in a criterium generally?
So our fields will be probably 50 to 100 people, depending on the field, between the professionals, amateurs, because we also have amateur racing throughout the day, and those fields are all around 40 to 60.
So 50 people start out. How many people finish?
I'd say most of them.
Most of them.
98%. Like if there's a crazy mechanical where your bike completely breaks, but like she said, you can get a free lap in our pit, and then you can get back on and keep racing.
Now, if we go to see this, and tell people where it is and when it is.
Yeah, so it's this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is at the Sandy Promenade behind the Target there. All day, the pros go off at about 6 p.m. Sunday is around America First Field, where Real Salt Lake plays, and that's going to be throughout the days. And the pros race that day about 3 p.m.
And do you have to pay to come and see this?
No, this is entirely free to spectators. We also have a beer garden and an expo area, so you can come and have some
The
beers.
beer isn't free.
No, the beer is not free, but we also it's a lot of fun to hang out and you just watch these riders go by. And we'll also have it live stream with Cotton Socks Live on our YouTube channel, which can be linked from utahcrits.com. But there's a lot of action that'll happen, and it's a good spectator-friendly sport.
Where's the best place if you're there live? Where's the best place to observe, you think, in your opinion?
So most people hang out at start finish. It's often fun also to find the sketchiest corner and watch there, because you never know what's going to happen.
Riley, how long have you been doing this?
Oh, I think this is my 10th year.
Yeah. So do you travel around the world doing this? Or?
Yeah, I used to race in Europe, and now I'm based in Salt Lake, and yeah, we race all throughout the country.
You're based here. That's cool.
Yeah, home race this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
How is it that you ended up in Salt Lake? You're from New Zealand, is that right?
Yeah, I'm from New Zealand. I raced for DNA Pro Cycling last year, and Kathy and Alex, the owners, put me up here, and yeah, I really love it, so I stayed.
Well, we'll put you up here. Okay. That's good. Is there prize money involved?
Yes, there's always prize money, and that's one way to help, obviously attract the top talent and help them travel around. We have about $20,000 in prize money. Half of that is what's called a preem. So they'll ring a bell, and whoever crosses the line first gets that money. And so we have, in each of the fields, we have 8 $500 preems.
So they're like miniature races within the race.
Correct. And that, if a race is getting dull or boring, you can throw out a preem. If you want people to go faster, you throw out a preem.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, they do that kind of thing in the Tour de France and all of that. There are these little mini races and things that you can do. It's really exciting stuff. People coming in from all over the country, all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of Spanish riders that'll be around. There's a lot of teams from Florida, East Coast, West Coast.
Are you on a team, Riley, or are you like a loner?
No, I'm riding for VBR 2028.
All right, and will you win one of these? Will you win?
Yeah, we're definitely here to win. For sure.
Why bother, Bill?
We're planning on it.
I've been to these. They used to do them here in downtown Salt Lake for several years in a row. They did them. I think like Einstein Brothers and the Bagel place. Yeah, isn't that right?
Yeah,
do I remember that correctly?
Yeah, that was a big team in the late 90s, early 2000s, and a lot of professionals came out of that team, out of Utah.
Mm-hmm. And I went to several of them, and they're just it's rock'em sock'em. It's real action, and you can get very close to it as well. almost dangerously close to it. I love it. Did you used to race yourself, Eric?
Yeah, I got into racing in my 20s, and I love road cycling. I like all cycling, but criteriums is just kind of the most exciting, I guess, because it's a little dangerous, and yeah. So I as you get older, it gets more difficult, obviously. So I decided to help.
It's a young man's sport, really. It's really what you're saying.
Or a young woman's sport.
Yeah. It's a young person's sport.
Riley, have you ever gotten hurt?
I've actually been pretty lucky. Haven't had too many bad crashes.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way.
You've had some road rash, haven't you?
Yeah, I think every race has had a bit of road rash.
But nothing too serious.
No, nothing too serious.
All right. Yeah, so when is it again? Reiterate where this is.
It's this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is at the Sandy Promenade behind Target, and Sunday is at the America First Field where Real Salt Lake plays.
Okay, and it's free to observe. And is there a website people can go to?
Yeah, you can go to utahcrits.com. So utahcrits.com.
All right.
Beautiful.
Eric Gardner and Riley McMullen, pleasure to meet you. Good luck on the racing. I'll try and make it out for one of them.
Awesome.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thanks so much, you guys. Okay, after these messages and a song, we're going to crawl towards the exits together. But first, Salt Lake Film Society.
Yeah, see movies that see you on the big screen. Salt Lake Film Society's Broadway Center Cinemas. It's our favorite place to go to the movies. They're local, donor-supported, nonprofit cinema with the legendary concession stand. You go there for that. You don't have that at your house. You don't have the big screen at your house. And you don't have the summer showdown at your house. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. So you need to go and see Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. Don't worry, 3D glasses will be provided. I think that's going to sell really well. I think a lot of people are going to that.
Yeah.
Versus The Burning, a movie you might not know about. It's kind of the same thing, like a horror summer camp kind of thing. Yeah. And it's the first time that Holly Hunter was in a movie, Jason Alexander, people you know, when they were just teens, mere teens. And for something different, the new romantic comedy Materialist with Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal. That's opening Friday, too. So they have first-run movies there and these fun programs that they like to do. That's why you should become a member of the Red Carpet Club. You can get tickets, movie listings, everything at SLFS Tickets. I don't follow T-Pain on Twitter.
You don't?
But I do follow.
Oh, I do.
I do follow Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
And this popped up yesterday. Ozzy tweeted, "This is the best cover of War Pigs ever. Why didn't you guys call me?" Now, War Pigs has been covered by everybody.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. It's Cake. It's
Faith No More.
Faith No More.
What was it originally on?
What was it originally on?
Yeah, what
Well, I don't know what Black Sabbath album it was on.
It is Paranoid.
Ah, okay.
I believe.
Okay.
So here's Ozzy.
Very familiar.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies.
So there's Ozzy. Now, before I hit play on this, I thought, oh, it's T-Pain. He's going to do a rap version of War Pigs. This might be interesting.
You would think.
No. He does a straight-ahead rock interpretation of it.
Okay.
Carrie's going to play a little bit of it.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masters. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death construction.
I'm not used to hearing T-Pain without the robot.
Well, and that's the thing. Just want you to let it go for a minute.
Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds.
Oh, this was a better version.
Isn't that awesome?
Not bad.
So, I would never have thought that's T-Pain.
Wow.
Apparently, he last year released an album of covers where he did "Don't Stop Believin'" and Sam Smith, "Stay With Me." And now I want to go listen to this whole thing because.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look here. Well, a lot of them I can't play.
And now here's a part of the show that you will not be able to listen to on the podcast.
I would like you to listen
These-
to the show live.
These are warning me that they have bad words in them.
Oh, they could.
Although "Don't Stop Believin'," I don't think originally had bad words. Or sharing, sharing the night together. I don't think.
Whenever I heard it, "Don't Stop Believing," there were bad words in my head.
In your head.
Yeah, this is just warning me that
Yeah,
it has
probably.
explicit lyrics
Okay,
somewhere in there,
well,
so I can't play any of them.
I
but-
will have to enjoy that on my own later. But I like being surprised.
Yes.
And
That was surprising.
T-Pain surprised me.
You like being. You shouldn't have said that because now I'm going to look for opportunities to jump out from behind things.
You're like, I'm T-Pain. You weren't expecting. You weren't expecting.
He just jumps
me.
out from behind a filing cabinet shouting "T-Pain."
And T-Pain, he tweeted back at Ozzy. He's like, first thing, wow, this is an honor and the greatest form of validation. Thank you, brother. So then I was reading what people were saying about it, and this is my favorite comment on it. Why don't we have T-Pain and Ozzy do the Super Bowl halftime show? Yes.
Yes, wheel Ozzy out there.
I don't think. First of all, I don't think. I think Ozzy would say, "No, I don't. I can't. I'm not going. I can't measure."
Please, I want to see this.
And then I think that that everybody in charge of the Super Bowl would go, "No,
not a good idea.
No.
Because Usher had a story yesterday. Because Usher's
he's the
halftime show, which I'm not excited
I'm
about.
not either.
And the story yesterday was Usher, in preparation for the Super Bowl halftime show, is not drinking alcohol or eating sugar. Now, how that helps you prep for the Super Bowl halftime show, I don't. You know who's having alcohol and sugar? T-Pain.
T-Pain is.
You can't get that gravelly voice if you give up sugar and alcohol.
I brought this in, Gina, in case you need it.
What? In case I need it.
It's a blood pressure. It's a blood pressure cuff.
Oh.
You want to take your blood pressure?
So yesterday, I started a blood pressure medication.
Which one?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. She's
Hold,
having a
please.
stroke. That's why
it's news. So.
It's
It's new. It's Lisinopril. Lisinopril.
Okay.
I'm taking my blood pressure right now.
And it worked when I took my blood pressure this morning. It was lower, so I think I'm good.
Damn, this cuff is acting up.
But my doctor wants me to come in a week and check it, and she wants me to have a fasting blood test, which I hate.
What's a fasting blood?
You just have to
Can't
fast.
you have to fast before you have the blood test? So
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
You can't even have like.
So you don't eat any dinner, and then when you get off work, you go have your blood test.
Oh.
So
You can't
Gina
have
will
like.
have to go almost 12 hours without eating.
I can't even have like coffee with my vanilla latte. I could have black coffee, but I
Well,
don't drink that.
I'm 132 over 67, and my pulse is 52. That's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad.
That's because
Yeah,
I
should we
take all.
check mine?
Sure. You know how to work these? You just put it. You have to hold your wrist like that. So, and then just hit start. So put it on, but you have to keep your arm in line with your. This is really fascinating radio.
I was going to say, we got our word of the day here.
Well, it'll take a second.
Okay. Well, what are the results?
Gina's blood pressure was 162 over 100.
We need to call an ambulance?
That's terrible.
I only had one pill. One pill's not going to fix it.
I would say you need to throw that medication away and get something new.
So I've only taken one pill.
162 over 100.
Uh-huh.
You're only taking one?
Yeah.
Because I take a few different ones.
Oh, she had me. She's like, let's just try this.
Trying to find the sweet spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, as I recall, I had to mess around with it for a while, too.
Yeah.
And it's probably nothing other than it's probably age related.
Great.
Means you're getting old, baby. Sorry. Your heart rate was 70, which is, I don't know. Mine's always really low, so I don't know where 70, how that falls on the scale.
Maybe I have white coat syndrome.
What?
Yeah, it's
Where
when
you
you
get nervous. When
you got nervous
yeah.
because you thought I was a doctor.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's no. I think you have white man syndrome.
That's
what
it.
is.
I get afraid when I'm around white men.
Yeah.
Yes, now the chat room is reacting. Demetra, who's familiar with these sort of things, my fingers were shocked by Gina's blood pressure.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was mine? 132/67. How's that, Demetra? That's pretty good, isn't it? It's not bad.
Well, Guy has found a category.
Oh, where do I fall?
Well, let's see. Normal is.
Because we love Sisters of Mercy. That's why.
There you go.
Yes, indeed. A couple of things here before we leave.
Uh-huh.
I need some help from the Magic Box. I would like to know where I can go, preferably in Utah, close by, but I'd be willing to go to Idaho, where there are nice cabins on a lake to rent.
Cabins on a lake to rent.
Ooh,
Surely
yeah.
there's lots of options for that.
I did an Airbnb over in 2020 when we took Lost Lands time off.
Yeah.
Still, we got the Moose Cabin out in the Redwoods in California, and it was like right on a little pond lake that you could swim in and stuff.
What about Bear Lake, Billy? There's
No.
no.
Bear Lake is kind of.
You don't want Bear Lake.
Yeah, I just want a cabin on a lake.
You want more foresty kind of place?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Bear Lake's kind of just this big open.
Because there are
space.
Airbnbs right on the water you can rent there.
I have done that a long time ago. But I mean, if you have any suggestions, just send them to, I guess, Bill at x96.com. No,
Yeah.
that'd be Bill at x96.com.
When are you taking this trip?
I don't know, sometime in
Not till Carrie gets back, right?
sometime in late July or something. I want to go to the mountains, by a lake, and just sit on a porch and look at the lake.
Okay.
I don't want to get in the lake.
But you will be with people who want to get in the lake.
I will sit on the porch and drink bourbon and look at the lake.
Okay.
And
fair.
read my book.
Fair.
So anyway, so there's that. Bill at x96.com if you have any suggestions. And then, so I saw this today, and we probably have just time to do it. It's a ranking of America's top 10 fast food French fries.
I am listening.
So it's
All
a
right.
list, yes?
It is a list.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
So this was put together by Seating Masters,
The Masters of Seats.
based on over 40,000 Yelp reviews.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Who had the best fast food French fry? You want me to start to the best or the
No, you work your way to the best.
Okay, so again, we have not heard of this place. Checkers and Rallies.
Have not. Is that a southern place?
I don't.
I really feel like that's familiar.
Checkers and Rallies. Not sure where it is.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. The next one is Hardee's, which we don't have any of those anymore.
That's Carl's Jr.
The next one up, Arby's.
The curly fries?
The curly fries are pretty wonderful.
It says the straight. I
not
don't know.
the curly
I don't
fries.
know.
Oh.
They have a straight French fry there, but I think it's probably the Curly's.
So Checkers and Rallies is mainly mid and East Coast, and then there's California, Nevada, New Mexico, everything around us,
spreading around,
and
okay.
everywhere up north from us.
Okay, next up from Arby's is Zaxby's.
I've never been there.
There is one or two here.
There's one in Midvale.
Next one, Cane's.
Raising Cane's.
I love Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's, yeah.
See, I go to Raising Cane's for the Texas toast. That's
my husband loves that too.
That's good Texas
Yeah.
toast. Because it's toasted on one side.
Chick-fil-A is the next one.
The waffle fry.
They have the waffle fry. I like that, but I don't go to Chick-fil-A.
Nope.
Bojangles.
Don't think we have those.
I think we might have one.
I don't know about Bojangles.
Now, we've talked about this place before, and I think there are a couple of them around. Freddy's.
Yeah.
I love Freddy's.
They're skinny fries.
Those shoelace fries, yeah.
I got to try that place. I remember looking at their menu, and everything looked good.
Yeah. They're concretes. They have these the ice cream
like
concretes.
ice cream, yeah.
So good.
And then next, this is second to the last, Shake Shack.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they have crinkle fries.
Okay.
Yeah, the top one. Oh, Freddy's is Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers.
Mm-hmm.
They have the crispy shoestring style.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shake Shack with the Eugenia, you said the crinkle cut,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally In-N-Out Burger.
I disagree.
Top the list,
No.
scoring a crispy 3.86 out of 5 average across 25 locations.
I took Mohammed, my son, not the prophet, to Harmon's yesterday because he wanted to try the beef tallow fries that they had. They fry them in tallow, and yes, it is better.
This is not at all Harmon's locations, right?
Nope. We went to the downtown one.
The
and
City
it's,
Creek.
Yeah, they're fresh cut fries. They fry them in beef. Trust me. All they do are burgers and fries there, and it's so good.
Do they have onion rings?
No. All they do.
So we don't know
burgers
what.
and fries.
So when we were in the parade, the Pride Parade, and we were going past Harmon's at the time, the air was redolent.
Yeah.
With the odor of onion rings.
You wanted them, didn't you?
Sort of. And then I thought maybe, well, it's Harmon's, but no, they don't make them, huh?
I will say I'm a little disappointed, and maybe I'll get judged for this, but my favorite fast food fry out there, Del Taco.
Really?
They have the best crinkle cut fries. I'm not kidding.
I
They
don't
also have
think
the
to
best
order
burger.
fries at Del
They have the
Taco.
best burger and fries at Del
Oh.
Taco, and I know that's very weird, and I didn't start eating them until
No.
about 3 years ago.
So now one other quick thing on fries. If you want good, and these are good fries, frozen French fries that you will prepare in your air fryer or oven at home, Lamb and Wesson.
That's the brand.
Lamb and Wesson.
Okay.
I think Smith's has them. Not
I've
all
never
places
heard of
have
that.
them. Well, I looked them up. They are a huge supplier of French fries to fast food chains.
Oh.
You know, and,
So if you like a...
and if you want to air fry a good frozen French fry, Lamb and Wesson, and they come out great.
Okay.
All right.
Also, Gina, Loco Burger is where that fry I was telling you about, where
Oh.
they're steak cut fries, but they're very thin.
Okay.
And
'cause I
they're
like a thin fry.
They are so well done. Okay.
Okay.
Promo?
We should probably go to bed early tonight and rest up.
Yeah, agreed. We've got a big show tomorrow with Sean Means movie reviews, Boner of the Day, Frank Christ presents.
Beat Gina, have another drink with Jimmy the wine guy.
Oh, we're very, very busy. Looks like we don't even have time for Victoria to do the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives update.
Yes, we do. Look, it's right here at 8:45.
I don't want to.
You don't gotta. Victoria watches so we don't have to.
My eyes, it burns.
Radio from Hell, it burns Friday morning here on X96.
You know, Gina, the beginning of that promo it makes it sound as though you and I are going to bed together. We should probably go to bed early tonight and rest up. I agree.
In separate houses.
Yeah. So Gina and I will be going to bed together early tonight.
Resting up.
Yeah, because
for the show.
Yeah, so we're not going to do anything.
we're
'cause we have to
resting.
rest up for the show.
Exactly. All right. I think that is everything. Thank you, everybody in the producer's booth.
There's really something wrong with me, isn't there?
Yes.
Appreciate you guys. As Carrie would say, live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Hot Shirley put her parrot in the freezer.
Artie Fufkin.